Hey, look at where we are today. We are in our play. Oh God, we're on the fun part now, y'all. We're in the fun part now. You thought it was fun before. It's about to get more fun. It's about to get more fun. Yeah. All right, listen. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey. Who says I can't play the drums with my hands? This is called tongue yoga. Well, I don't do anything except play on the drums. That's and then today got weird when Angela did not do anything but play on the drums all day long. And let me fix YouTube. I know we're an equal opportunity player over here with YouTube. Hey y'all. Hey, good morning. Good morning. I'm here, but may fall back asleep. Oh yeah, right? You falling asleep, Stay? Wake up. Hey! Wake up! Wake up! What day is this? What's today? Friday. Look at my hair. It's Friday, y'all. It's Friday. Maybe next week I start yoga. But right now, we are on day, whatever day we're at, of doing this workbook with the sword. Look. Hey, I got a sword today. I got overalls. I got pigtails. What else do you want? So listen. For those of you who haven't been here all August, every single morning, all of August, I've been doing some crazy things. We are going over this workbook that I wrote years and years ago, about how trauma, whatever the hell you went through, you were raised by wolves just like me, I know. But you know what, when I say that those of us who are raised by wolves, let's not be disrespectful to wolves. Because wolves are really great. Wolves are actually better than many of our families. Am I right? Oh my God. Wolves are great. Let's not be rude to wolves. But some of y'all were raised by wolves. Many of us have been through all kinds of traumas. And years ago, I was on the road talking about my movie and my book. Hey, and I came up with this concept that now therapists use in support groups and retreats all over the world. It's being translated into German. And now, you know what? I can play the drums like a German. It's like this. Oh my God! I just messed up my drums. German in me just messed up my drums. Y'all tighten it up. God, tighten it up. So this workbook that I wrote years ago and is still used all the time. This is my most popular item. It took the concept of trauma. So whatever trauma you have, whatever you went through, I'm going to move so I can see your comments. Hey, Joy. Hey. So it's like being pierced with a sword. And you can live like that. You can live like that if you want. And we're on step 5 of this for those of you who are new. And so step 1 is just noticing that, oh my gosh, acknowledging, hey, that, oh my gosh, I've been through trauma. That was your last relationship, or your parents, or the pandemic. Like you were traumatized, right? But when you look at it like a sword, hey from New York, I'm actually in New York. What you doing? So you were traumatized, right? So trauma is like it being pierced with a sword, and you can live like that. And if you see it like this, you can see that if you have this in your body, it's just like your trauma. It's going to cause health problems. I have a little bit of a throat issue right now. ate a big giant Buc-ee's barbecue sandwich. Don't judge me. I did it. I ate the whole thing. My fingers were messy and I had to use white wipes. And now I feel it. Crap. I'm paying for it. Anyway, so you've been through some things, right? And you're traumatized, and it can create hey, laugh for that energy. Hey, yeah. So trauma can cause health problems. It's hard to cuddle, hard to have good relationships. You're going to have trouble breathing. Your life is going to be stunted in many different ways, just like if you see it with a sword. Step 1, acknowledge it. Like, oh, whoops, me too. Step 2, remove it, which we talked about earlier, and I go into great detail. I have courses on this stuff. I travel the country. I speak on stage with swords. It's very fun. It's very fun. Then you remove it, and it hurts. Then step 3, you heal the wound. You work on healing the wound. And step 4, you learn to use it. Learn to use your sword, because then you have this aha moment. You're like, oh, what I went through does not define me. It's just something I went through. I'm proud of you too, Stay. Thank you. So whatever you went through is just something you went through, right? And you can use it. So your sword becomes your microphone, your pen, your paintbrush, your whatever you're doing creative in the world that you're awesome. I love you, right? And then step 5, which we're starting today, is play. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, God, you know what? I have a t-shirt on from back in my child. How many licks? How many licks to get to the center? Those of you who remember this, how many licks to get to the center? 1, 2, crunch. 3 licks, because there's only 2 licks, and then you crunch it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Do you remember that? I remember that, because I'm 50. Yeah, I'm 50. I know I don't look it, and I don't look 50 because I've been doing this healing work, and it shows up in your body. Yeah, you love that, right? It's like, hello, how many licks to get to the Tootsie Roll? Pop, pop, pop. 3. 3's on my back. 62. So the sword of trauma, right? So that's where we're at. So if you can pin, I have my sweet little moderators showing up in here, Rondi and Jay, who can pin things that you say. If you want to, for those new here, you can pin the website and all this stuff. I'm AngelaShelton.com. You can get your sword, and you can get the workbooks, and they're all on my site. My site's having a big, huge overhaul. I'm very excited about it. But I decided to, much like I'm practicing what I preach, instead of staying in the whole perfectionist. You like my pigtails? We're in Playdate. Hey, Dawn, thanks. So instead of staying in trauma, and then you can get into like the perfectionist mode of like, oh, I can't share nothing. I can't write my book. I'm not ready. I can't do that. I'm not ready. I'm going first so that thank you, Emily. So that you can have aha moments too, so that we can elevate and expand together faster. With me, there's no judgment. I ain't judging nothing. You can tell me anything. Believe me, I've heard it. And I love all y'all. I love people. I'm a big, big supporter of men. I'm a big helper of male survivors. And I wrote this workbook years ago, and it's my most popular thing outside of my documentary. And I wish to God my most popular thing was my boxing movie. It is a little bit. I have this boxing movie that I'm a broken record about, but we'll go on. So these workbooks, you can get them on my site. You can get them. These are printed on Amazon if you want to actually fill them out, which I recommend. You can actually print out the PDF for like $9, but this is free. And I'm doing it for free on my YouTube and for free on my TikTok, so that the people that are on the floor that ain't got $9, that you're just like in traumatized mode, so that it can be shared with them too, because I have been there. I was raised in poverty. I totally get it. And I cannot stand the Hollywood industry, the fashion industry, and the music industry of how they cut people out because of money. And so I won't do it. I won't do that. You're welcome. So where are we today? And you can get caught up and watching on my videos, and you can deep dive me. Good luck. Or you can just step right here. Number 1, page 98. Look, you have the power to change your entire life today. Ready? Yay! Thank you. You get the power of life to change your life every day. Ready? Practice sword play. Hey y'all, sword play. Swinging from sword to sword. It's a different show. What does your inner child want to do with your sword? Say all that comes to mind. So I want you to participate, okay? So like if you think outside of all your trauma and outside of all the crap that you've ever been with, what is your little kid? What is the you know you to be? The little you, the fun you, the one that's secretly talking to you and yelling at you to do more fun things in your life? What do you really want to do? Me? Drums. Do I know how to play the drums? No. I do now. With my hands. What do you really want to do? That's why I was like, I'm going to put pigtails in this morning, these big pig ball things. What are you doing? So what do you ditch the perfection that can keep you stuck 50 years? Yes. It's so true. So that whole perfectionist thing comes with judgment and judging of yourself and thinking you're not good enough and yada, yada, yada. And I'm here to tell you that we're all mirrors for each other. And if you look, then this concept works so well. And for so many people, because when you look at it like a sword, like your trauma, and you're being stunted and keeping yourself from moving forward, look at it like you want to be a film director. I want meaning in life. Hey, Dave, I love that you wrote that. So start directing movies. Don't wait for Hollywood, and definitely not Screen Actors Guild. Don't get me started. I'll say lots and lots of things, and I'll show you 7 years worth of emails with that BS. Yeah. You can start by being a filmmaker here on TikTok. Like make little movies on your TikTok. There's your homework, Dave. You're welcome. Art, poetry, go back to school. Stay. That is the first time you've said that I've read something real nice about yourself being creative. Okay? So stay. Homework. Homework for your inner child. I want a piece of art and I want poetry, not to me, for yourself. Put it on your TikTok. Some kind of art and some kind of poetry. You didn't know this was going to be class today, did you? You didn't know you're going to get homework. And I want to open a med spa. Ooh, cool. So, Leslie, do that in your backyard to start. Angela Shelton, what do you want to do? I want to dress up like Elvis and sing songs. I'm Safe Side Super Chick. If you didn't know that, I won an Emmy. It was very exciting. I'm Safe Side Super Chick. And I had just challenged Pee Wee Herman to a dance-off. And then he died. And my daughter goes, well, Mom, you win. So I want to dance off with Pee Wee Herman. That's what I want. I want him dressed as Pee Wee and me dressed as Safe Side Super Chick. And I want to dance off. And I'm going to win. And you know what? Now I do win because he's dead. But I thought, you know what? I need a Pee Wee Herman outfit. I need a Pee Wee Herman suit and those little platform shoes. And I can be him, and then I can be me, and then I can have my editor edit it together and, do a little dance off, and then I win. And so don't let it stop you that they're dead. Don't let it stop you that you don't have a med spa, Leslie. Start in your kitchen. Invite me over. Did he die unexpectedly? I don't think so. I think he had cancer and he wasn't telling anybody. I'd been challenging him for a while. So terrible. You got to look at the bright side. If I looked like Pee Wee, I would do a dance off with you and let you in. That's funny. Well, I think it'd be funny if I'm just Pee Wee. Like I'll just do it. And action. It's easier done than listen. It's easier done than said. Thank you for remembering that, Dawn. It's so true because we can talk about it all day long. Well, you can talk yourself out of it, right, Jackie? How do you like this? How do you like this look today? So my inner child wants to do what? What do you want to do? And also, I will have playtime in my life by what's your playtime in your life? This is our workbook today. Ready? Our workbook today. I'm going to have playtime by dressing like a complete fool and getting on TikTok and playing drums that I can't play and then playing with puppets. That's my playtime. What are you doing? Here's Timothy. Timothy. Hi. Hi. Hey, y'all. Hey. 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 So playtime. Excuse my cough. I blame it on Bucky's, even though I love Bucky's, but good God. I talked to my mom yesterday for the first time since my brother passed away. Was weird. Yeah, I bet. I'm like, play bass. Nice. Play bass. Let's do a band. Play bass, baby. Travel, travel, travel. I love it. So if you want to travel, then start by going down your street. Start by going outside. You know, start by hey. My fear, and that's also facing fears because my terror fear, honestly. Hey Jay, was going live, and so I personally, you're watching my growth live. Yet my playtime, I started putting it on my schedule, like putting playtime on your schedule, which is totally a mind mess to a workaholic. I'm like, what? Ain't nobody got time for that. And when you put play on your schedule, it's a catch 22. It actually opens up more of your schedule. It doesn't make any sense at all. I know it doesn't, but it really, really does help if you put play on your schedule because the play opens up your subconscious and opens up your mind, actually calms you. And then you're actually more available to work harder if you're like me, who's a total workaholic. And I was like, oh, what? And as soon as I started putting play on my schedule, I started working more profoundly, better, and getting more done. Makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense. And I was terrified to go live. Like I can go on a stage. You could hand me a microphone in front of thousands of people, totally unprepared even. Just, hey, Angela, we had a cancellation or something. Here's the mic. You got 10,000 people out there. Go, bye. I will own that stage. I will love it. Y'all will have a great time. It'll be hilarious. It'll be awesome. But show me a live button on social media and I take a dookie in my pants. I do. I like a dookie, a little turtle head. Turtle head comes out. And I'm like, what? A live button. So that especially like Jackie. God, I love you, Jackie, on YouTube. She's my loyal love, Jackie. It's like I can trip myself up, right? And say, like, oh, ain't nobody love you on YouTube. Nobody loves you. You better go like lay down or something. Go calm yourself, right? And when I started putting this on my schedule, my work got better. Amazing. You laugh because schedule? What schedule? You have agoraphobia. It's hard going places even down the street alone, except for work. Interesting. Because that's how I roll. Stay, you need supplies. Exactly. Get your art. Yeah, help each other. Get your art on. Hey. So when I've started doing it and practicing it myself, right out in the open, it's gotten better. So I'm definitely one who will go first. Like I'll walk down the plank first. I'm fully aware that I do that and happy to do that. And so here I am going live, doing my workbook. With Timothy. This is Timothy. Oh God, I knew you were going to do that. Why do you always do that? You have to go for my nose because you think I got the best nose. You're like that modeling agency that tried to steal my nose that time. Is that your problem? Okay, I get you. Damn it, I get you. So no, I actually bought a huge art when I had. Oh, nice. So you bought a art supply that you haven't used yet. Okay, so homework. Stop it. So your homework is use that art supply. Like seriously. And all of you, like I'm going to hold you to it. And I'm a little bit of a drill sergeant with the trauma healing stuff. I'm not mean. I kindly love you. I love people, but I will be a drill sergeant. I'm like, shut your face on all the negative thought patterns in your brain. Shut it, and do it anyway. And it's easier done than said. So it's easier done just bringing out the art supply as we're live. Like seriously, stay. Kim Mayer in our lives I do on Rockstar Reformers, she paints a picture during the live that are amazing. So like that happened for years, and now she has a book. I mean, hi. So it's like, so what? Stop, God. And so Timothy is obsessed with my nose, and I'm I'm gonna let you just be there. Okay, good job. So even if you have Timothy up your nose, you still do it. You still go live, right? You still go live. Timothy, for God's sakes. Seriously. So anyway, what we were saying that sword of Trump. You need a sword, boy. Listen, here, go get your sword. Go get it. Go get it. Okay, good. So work on that thing. Thank you. So we all have a sword. We all have trauma. We've all been through something. And somewhere, some shape or form, you're keeping yourself stunted or quiet or behind the scenes, or you're not saying what you really want to say, or you're not doing what you really want to do, blah, 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 blah. It's like, so this is the step where we say, stop it. Quit it. Hey, Jay. Mwah. So thank you. So this is the stage where you say no more. No. If I do it, you do it too. Yay. Stop. So if I do it, you do it, right? So we're going to do it together. That's also where, hey, Jay, thank you. You like my hair, Rondi? I thought you'd like that. Yeah. I can do these kind of things when you bring me to your town. And because so people who bring me to speak, by the way, please go full service. I'm Safe Side Super Chick. I'm a superhero for little kids. Little kids go bananas for me, and I'm very good with little kids. And I'm a superhero. And so I can wear crazy outfits and do my hair funny, and you can bring me to the elementary schools, and I will talk to the kids, and they can watch Safe Side Super Chick for free. There's 2 videos. There's stranger safety and internet safety. You can go to angelashelton.com and find all this stuff, and they can watch and /super chick. And they can watch it for free with their teachers. They can watch it at an assembly, and then you can bring me. I mean, I will do it. It's part of the package. Like when people bring me to speak, I've been saying that, like, let me rephrase that. Use the days. Like I can stay for a couple of days and use me to go to the elementary schools, but be warned, when I show up as me, a Safe Side Super Chick, you will have disclosures. So that's the whole point of bringing me, is to help the kids that are going through what we went through when we were kids right now. You know what I'm saying? And so when I show up, they think I'm funny. They rarely disclose to me. I've had it happen a few times, but I am like the spicy, not spicy. That's a different link. That I am the rainbow glitter that comes in happy, and it gives them the safe place to speak. And it always happens. It might happen a couple of days after. It might happen that afternoon, but I give the safe place for the kids to speak up. You laughing like, that's a different link. I also have a link for the men too, so I also do that. And you know what? I kept myself quiet on the work I've done with men for years now because of judgment, and now I am 100% not judging myself, and I don't care when other people judge me because of the responses, and because of it's working, and because I've helped so many men like get off a corn addiction, get back to their true purpose, stop being liars to their mates because they're actually lying to themselves. I've done it for a long time, and I've done it enough now that I've seen where my value is, and my value for men is far greater than the judgment that comes with what I do for men. Does that make sense? So I was like, I'm about to come out with the whole book and about a full reveal, and I'm like, I don't care. You can judge me all you want, but look at all the lives that were saved. So, hey, and then I also do for kids. I'm like healing for the whole family, even the creepy uncle. Listen, I haven't watched Corn since you sent me that meditation. Oh my God, stay. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. I love that. I love hearing that. I have a meditation on my YouTube which I'm also, listen, I'm trying to organize my YouTube. My own daughter was like, Mama, your YouTube sucks. You need to do review videos, reaction videos. So I have a meditation that will walk. It's mainly geared towards women, but I have other ones for men privately that I'm going to start doing. But the one for women walks you through flashbacks, and also when you stay when you're not even present with your mate, you're in La La Land, or you're in the last corn video you watched, or the last person you saw on the bus. You know what I'm saying? So I walk you through a meditation to get to switch your brain on that, and I'm so that makes me happy. That made my day. That's awesome that helps. That's really, really great. Yay. Do you and Jesus look like just like liberals or think they are big? What's what's pedos or bigger pedos? Um, no, the word liberal has been hijacked. If you do it, the definition of liberal, I am a liberal. If you go with the definition of liberal, just like Christian, if you go with the definition of religion, it means relinking to spirit. But words have been hijacked, and so has the parties. Totally hijacked. I'll take Christians over communists. Hey. So, yeah, no, periodically. You're so confused. Are the meditations on your website? I just have them on my YouTube, but now that I've seen that it works so well, I'm organized in it all too. So I'm doing what I recommend. I'm like, hey y'all, put playtime on your schedule and organize your life. Are you talking to yourself? Yes. Yes, I'm talking to myself. We're all talking to ourselves. Hello, 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 hello. And that joke that I put on, Kitty, that like I was interviewing a dude and I was like, oh, you're a liberal. I only help men. That's funny. But the liberals don't think it's funny because they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh, God. It's funny. That was funny. My mom called me a socialist. Yeah, I'm definitely not that. My schedule is severely controlled. Oh God, Annie, because you were snatched up by that biker and kept in a yeah, I know. Lord, Annie needs a van to just come by her house and be like boop boop, and you just run out and it takes you away. I would really recommend that you get in touch with Bikers Against Child Abuse. They adopt kids, but you can do a campaign to say like, hey, I know I'm an adult, but I need some help. Bikers Against Child Abuse. Yeah, I thought the world would have had portable water. What? Potable water. I thought the world would have looking like Princess Leia this morning. Yes, yes, I am. So they've done good things. What have done good things, Jackie? Who's done good things? My brother called me a liberal. Wow, I'm sorry. I thought the word woo. See, if we're going down that road, what would my inner child do? Speak the truth and call out BS everywhere. That's what my inner child does. Ever since I was a little kid, my 8-year-old self, me at 8 years old, I cursed out my biggest abuser in the middle of the family reunion. Yeah, cursed her out. She was about to beat me and my cousins, and I with a switch. And I stood in front of my cousins, barefoot, country dress, little redneck kid. I'm like a fancy redneck. We're mountain people. We're not really rednecks. It's a little mountain girl. And I cursed out my grandma in the middle of the family reunion with everybody watching. And I said every word I thought I ever heard. I made up some at the time. And I was just like, you will never hit me or them again. And she didn't. As she's watching me, she was holding the switch like this. And as I just kept talking, she like her eyes got wide and she lowered the switch down by her side. She turned around and she went into the house. And she never beat me or my cousins again. So I called out some BS because she was about to beat us for something she thought she saw, but she was not seeing the full story. She was making an assumption and she was going to beat us because of her assumption. And I like to call out BS. I've also done that with perps, even as a young kid, when I knew that in the neighborhood, I knew the stories because my friends I went to school with would tell me what was going on. And I called it out. I was like, that guy right there. And I did that. And so I'll call out some BS right now. The media has been hijacked. Okay. Your food is poisoned. Okay. And so is your education system. Yeah. Goes back to my science fair project when I was 12. And you can look this stuff up. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's a system analysis. And Bikers Against Child Abuse. Yeah, they're great. They've done some good things. That wasn't abuse back then. LOL. Yeah, right. Well, it wasn't a few spankings here and there is not abuse, but full on like beatings. because of your own emotional problems. I'm like, yeah, seriously. Good morning. Hey, Tina. Me too. My mouth won't be quiet. Yeah. So it's like, I'll call out some BS and you might lose friends and you get people upset. And if people get so upset and hold on to their beliefs that are poisoned, I say, hey, what are you eating? How are you being poisoned through your mouth and through your mind? And as soon as you're not poisoned through your mouth and not poisoned through your mind, then we can have a conversation. Otherwise, go get yourself unpoisoned because you stop. Well, I mean, I love like Rachel yesterday was saying how she watches MSNBC, but not Fox because she doesn't believe in the conspiracy theory. That and I'm like, they're all bad. Like all of them are controlled. Like all of them are manipulated. You should just like unplug your TVs because it's all. And you watch like news across the country, and when they say the exact same things out of their mouth, where did that narrative come from? It came from Operation Mockingbird. Anyway, so especially when you see now, how you can see it. Like once you open your eyes to it, you can see it so clearly. Especially things like Oliver Anthony's song, right? Hey, good morning. Oliver Anthony's song is a perfect example. That is a country song. That's a country guy. I was raised in the country. They're all Democrats. I came from tobacco farmers. That's why I never was a Democrat because they were, the Democrats were the K times 3. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, I ain't want nothing to do with that. I've never been a Democrat. So, and I was like, I'm gonna go get me some money and move to the city, become a Republican. And that's what I did when I was 18. And then the Republican Party got taken over by the Christian Coalition. I was like, I want nothing to do with you because you're going after my gay brother. And I'm like, so I'm out. I'm out of all this stuff. And I was independent. And then the independent is all weird. So I'm unaffiliated. I'm unaffiliated with all that nonsense because I know the truth. Sadly, I wish I didn't know, but I'm glad I do know the truth about the T word, human. And that is no color. They're working together. There's no such thing as red and blue. This is all a ploy to keep us arguing with ourselves so that we don't pay attention to what they are doing. And there really is a they. There sadly really is a they. It's about 13, 14 families and about 5 companies that they hide in. And then there really is a they. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a system analysis. It goes back to my science fair project when I was 12. And I'm here to tell you, they're organized perpetrators. They are organized perpetrators for many, many, many years with many, many, many plans to keep us as peasants. This is a caste system, y'all. And I say, F that, F it to the umpteenth degree. There are more of us than there are of them. There are more of us than there are of them. And as we stop judging each other with all these colors, so dumb, with all these colors and these labels and these names, and we actually come back to the table of humanity and like, let's have some food together. Let's drink some raw milk together and eat some meat. Well, I mean, for those of you who don't eat meat, eat some vegan world that's actually going to give you some minerals. And let's have an actual conversation. Let's elevate and expand together. And let's go after the perps. The problem is I'm going on a tangent. This is what my inner child would do. This is literally me as a little kid. I'm like, y'all are even as a little kid, I'm like, I hate like that was me because my dad was the perp. Like, so when I was a little kid, it's my dad. My dad is the one that's diddling everybody. And he had a candy store. He had an arcade. He was the van down by the river. You know, when you go to supermarkets and you see all the little gumball machines at the front and the little trolls with the funny hair. That was my dad. That was like that. He had a van of all that stuff. So I had endless supply of candy and those little doohickey things. And that was my dad. And he was very handsome. He looked like Elvis. This is also why I've re-embraced Elvis. My dad was all versions of Elvis. When he was younger, he was the handsome, thin Elvis. And as he got older, he was the fat, like pudgy Elvis. I mean, I've seen all sides. I've also seen all sides of my dad. Oh my God. And I'm just not going to stay in that pain. Even as a little kid, I was calling it out. And, I got in trouble. I had my hiney beaten a lot. And, and I was like, I saw the profound lie as a kid. And I was like, huh, the system's broken. We were taken out of my dad's home and put into foster care. And that's when I noticed that the system was completely broken and also BS because my social worker, my two social workers, Mrs. Ford and Mrs. Lemons, were caring people. Mrs. Lemons, who I'm still friends with today, that was her one and only case. She took one case and it was mine. It was her very first one out of the gate. And she was so mortified by what was happening in our family that she quit. And she went to help survivors heal with horses. So she went to healing with horses. She still does that today. Goosebumps. I love it so much. And we reconnected when I was 18 or so, and now we're still friends. And I'm actually like, I have plans to like go to her. I want to go hang out at her house again. She's got a horse that I love. And anyway, that was named Starman. So so that's my inner child is I'm going to call out some BS. And you know what? You're going to get in trouble. And I've lost friends. I've lost business partners because of my mouth, because I'm speaking the truth. We had a perpetrator, distributor for my movies, and I worked for the FBI to put him in prison. Yeah, that's right. That happened. You know what's crazy? He went to prison. He served his time. He's out doing the same thing. And I am still in paperwork with the Screen Actors Guild doing the right thing. So I'm like, dude, I got to hand it to you. Oh my God. Oh my God. So what's your inner child? What's the voice that's been silenced because you're afraid? I have been afraid to say anything during the whole pandemic because you lose your friends, you lose your everything because you'll get cut off. Why are you getting cut out? Because you're getting cut out and shut up by perpetrators who want to keep poisoning people. That's how it works. I mean, it's not rocket science here. It's pretty easy to figure out. So many systems. So I'm gonna. Oh my God, you got in my nose, Timothy. So I would very much like to sit down and have a meal with you. Let's do it in Nashville. Okay, hold on. I want to see your. I don't want to miss your comments. Your grandpa was your perp. Oh my God, I feel you. Same bird, different wings. Good cop, bad cop. It's political party. Yep. Hey, yay! Thank you for the heart. The the parties are not your friend. Either one of them. And also the people who put the T word, T word, up in this like divine place, like people think he's a deity. He's the same part. He's part of the same machine. He's on CNN and all those things. If you're not part of the machine, you're not on there. Okay. So it's like pick your poisons, people. Pick your poisons. And it's like, and they vacuum, yeah, right. I just want to over the binary BS. I don't know what you mean. Have a great day. You're my friend now. Yay! My grandpa was my perp. Oh God. Hope you've seen good. I haven't seen you go live for a while. Hello, darlings. I have a hard time with emotions. I feel like I hear stories like this. Yeah, same. Well, try being on the road for 20 years and hearing stories like this all the time. And I got sick when I'm sick right now because I ate a Buc-ee's barbecue sandwich. I'm not gonna lie. I love Buc-ee's, but listen, yeah, the system, as in what? Capital. I'll take capitalism over communism any day. But the system, as in like the system of the red and blue, it's set up to keep us arguing with ourselves because it's actually controlled by them. And if you dissect that and look and just do a little research on that, you will find there is a they, and it's about what 13, 14 families and 3 companies. It's like Vanguard, BlackRock, and then State Street, and that. I mean, y'all, it's not. It goes back to my science fair project when I was 12. It's not hard. It's just a bunch of perpetrators. But there are more of us than there are of them. I watched both of your movies. You're an awesome glid maker. What does that mean? I'm a glid maker. Which movies did you watch? I'm so curious. See ahead. I love that username. See ahead. Like as a C ahead. That's amazing. I got lucky with 2 teachers that rock. Yay. I love horses, but I'm afraid to ride or come close to any. So you look at them from afar. I get you. I can't keep my mind closed. Yes, seriously. So many systems. It's so true. I'm trying to read all your comments. I'm like, we're live. We're live with comments. I don't even know their professions. See, the people that are voted into a seat of power. Yeah, I mean, it's oh God. People say that word, the Illuminati. And yeah, that's one component. That's just one. There's the oh God, there's that place that they meet in California. It starts with a B. There's Epstein. Like, I love how people focus on Epstein. I'm like, okay, that's just one. That's one. And they had kids that are like, 12 to 15. There's others that have like the little kids. And I just it's really hard for me not to say just blow it all up, even though that is how I feel. Anyway, that is just a small part of the truth. Exactly. It's just that's just one. But that's great. That's amazing that it's getting exposed and people are actually starting to see. But then when you start to see that it's the people you love, it's the celebrities that you put on pedestals, it's the people that you voted for, it's a really hard pill to swallow, the same as it's dad or mom or grandpa. That many people will stay stunted in denial and fear because you really cannot, it's so difficult to stand up and actually take responsibility for your own life when you're like, wait, I trust daddy and mommy and grandpa and the people I voted for and all the celebrities I love. Wait, what? You're telling me what? And this is why I left Hollywood, because I started to discover way too many things. And I just was like, I can't give my energy or my time to making y'all money that are hurting the planet and people. I mean, not the planet by hurting kids, Is it worldwide or U.S. issue? It's totally worldwide. I was in Greece and the happiest, like I was talking to many of the locals and it's like, Greece is so beautiful. And you can have Greece is the epitome of it's like in Costa Rica, pura vida. And it's like, it's beautiful and amazing. And then on the flip side, it's so horrible and such a hub for trading. It's like, oh my God. Americans are big buyers. And that is why I also work with men, because it's like, it's going to be very difficult to take down the perps, right? But you can take down the buyers. You can change the buyers' mentality. You can heal the buyers so that they don't buy anymore. So that, and removing the judgment and I'm gonna kill all of them. So, and just stay with, what? People are in tragic pain because of their own abuse. And it's like they then turn to all kinds of horrible things. And so when we talk openly about it, this is also why I'm traveling and I've opened myself up so much and I'm available. And my favorite is to speak at churches about SIGs. Because when we have education and when we are practicing and promoting and living spiritually connected SIGs, you eradicate what's happening in the basements. That's the abuse and violence. Because as I've traveled, y'all, the worst of the worst that I have seen are in those communities that are like, oh, we're fine. Oh, we're fine. Nothing happens here. We're a good Christian community. We're fine. Nothing happens here. In those basements and in those back rooms and in those nighttime places, that is the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. And it's like, wow, that's why I love outlaws. I'm like, bring me all the outlaws and the rebels and the ones that got in trouble for saying stuff, because they're the ones that were trustworthy. I'm like, holy Jesus. I'm like, also, when I had the devil show up at my house, and also when I was in the elevator with the devil, which I've told that story before, but those of you who haven't heard it, I came into contact twice with some some men that were really high up in the human T word, and it's terrifying. And it's like, I feel it. You feel it. You feel like, whoa, like you're in the presence of the devil. And both of them were so perfect. They were so there was not a hair out of place. There's not a wrinkle on them. They're starched. They're like starched perfect. And from the outside, that's like starched perfect. Who's telling everybody else how they should be. You know, that's the one that's got the Bible, and they're like, no, 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 no. That's also why I can't stand the people who have hijacked Christianity, who are actually perps. So it's like, and I say, take it all back. Take the words back. Take the kids back. Take it all back. Which starts with ourselves. It starts with us. We have to get out of this stage. So when you're on your island and I'm on my island, and you've been stunted and thwarted and stuck with your own trauma, like, look at the people ahead of you. We're all in the same battle, right? And it's like water rising and rising collectively, right? And it has some bumps and some waves, because some people are like, oh God, I'm still stunted. And some people are ahead of you. They're like, I got it out, y'all. I got it. I found an escape route. Like, that's me. And then there's some people who are way ahead of me that I watch. I'm like, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? And so I'm like, hey, escape route right around here. And it's so that we can go faster and elevate more profoundly, because we have been pounding the toe of the beast for far too long. And pounding the toe of the beast, this like super organized perpetrators, for those who even really know, like, you might just be pounding the beast of like Epstein. And it's like, that's just one. And you go higher into the actual club, and it's actually terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, oh God, oh God, oh God. I wish I didn't know that. Oh my God. It's like eyes wide shut. You know, you're like, oh God, is this true? Yeah, it's true. It's true. But you know what? There's more of us than there are of them. And as we rise and help each other and are mirrors for each other, you actually do elevate. And instead of pounding the toe of the beast and like holding a sign, and we're just going to fight this one thing, and we're going to fight each other over your colors. It's so dumb. Then we rise up, and then we could drown it. See that? So it's like, if there's a beast, which there is, so that it's collective they, and they're very, very powerful and very, very, very rich. Oh God, I found out about another one 2 days ago who has $800 million. And he is, RAPE, his son. He has actually KILL people. And yeah, that guy's like mega crazy, mega rich. Domestic violence, the whole 9 yards. And you're like, oh yeah, that guy, that's the guy that has 800 million. I mean, really? I mean, wow. Huh. So it's like, when you put that and it's into the truth of like, oh God, it seems daunting to even touch it. Like, what can you do? Well, there's more of us than there are of them. We can just keep getting better and rising. And then we could drown it instead of pounding the toe of the beast. It's only going to make us tired. Does that make sense? Can I get you got me? You got me? Even professors, I got paid at 16 to do stuff in front of one of my, yeah. Girl, I understand. I'm literally on an island. Abusers were abused, truth. Yep. It's a lineage. Yes. This guy, Jason, are you trying to be funny? Are you sad in your life, Jason? Oh God. So why don't this is one of the best lives. Yay. Bionic. See, there's always going to be somebody who's like, what are you doing? And you got to remember, everybody's talking to themselves. So when you have some jackass who's like a troll, who's like saying stuff to you, you realize they're talking to themselves. So that guy obviously is not funny. It has a pretty unfunny life. Sorry you're so ugly in your heart. I wish you healing and awareness. I do. What's the art? I love it. I'm looking for my island still. Create your island. That's the thing. You are your island. You are your own island. Okay, I'm going to go to Jerome. Didn't George Washington warn us about political parties? Same. So true. They say they have to try brisket sandwich when you go there. Well, I went to Buc-ee's and I had the big giant brisket sandwich, and I got a little sick. If you deepen your relationship with God, it will help you in your future relationships. 100%. It's so true. And also, as we are elevating and expanding, I mean, have you ever had a Monte Cristo? Yes, I have. Come see my octopus I sculpted. Oh, wow. I love it. Yay. This is Timothy. Hi. So we're going over this workbook. We're trying to be funny, Jason. We're not funny. I know. I have a comedy that's not funny either. It's about you. Oh, God. So having a sword instead of being pierced by it gives you freedom. Okay, so it's like you look at your trauma, right? Your trauma, whatever you went through. You have a Jason in your life who tells you horrible things about yourself. You can stay stunted like that, right? Or you can remove it, which hurts a little bit. And it's all anger and tears. That's all it is. Anger and tears. We can go over that if you want again. And then you have it. And then your trauma, whatever you went through, is something you can use. It becomes your paintbrush. It becomes your art. It becomes your sculpting. It becomes my drums, my crazy no just no. No just sent me, what was that? A raspberry or a fruit? No just sent you some fruit. I love it. And you draw? Exactly. I don't have a Jason in my life. My perps. My biggest love in my life, except until recently, was named Jason. So I love that. So having the sword instead of, hey, yay, I got roses. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. And so it can leave you stunted, right? But when you have it, it gives you some freedom. Because especially when you look at this, I love you, thank you. Like that's not who you were. Whatever you went through, whatever we all went through, is not define us. Timothy has a voice and lots of rope. Yeah. Thank you for the heart. Yay, Jonathan. I haven't picked up my guitar in a month. Yeah. Listen, do it right now. Can you get it right now? Can you get it right now? If you get your guitar, I'll get my violin. What's Jason going to say about this? It ain't funny. It ain't in tune. What are you doing with your life? Like, what you doing with your life, fool? So having the sword out, right? So like dealing with your trauma. Ready? What's the likelihood of this being in tune? Very slim. When you have a perpetrator, when you have a perpetrator. My Jason said I need to repent for my sins. Oof. Ready? Jason, not funny. Good morning. Hey, Nixie, what's up? You didn't know how to violin, did you? You know how many strings I popped out of this thing? Oh my God. Once upon a time, you were not funny. Okay, I'm awake. I'm awake now. Look, it's got a little string on it. Look, a little string. Can you see that? Oh, little string. Awesome. Once upon a time, you were wounded. Oh God. You know what? You know what happens when you're an only child? When you're an only child of a perpetrator. Yeah. Marty McFly. Yeah. So taking the sword out. Oh, look. So the sword, hey, look, it can be your bow. Your sword can be your bow. Gives you freedom, right? Here's the question for you. Using your sword takes practice, just like me going lives and facing fears, right? It is very different than remaining pierced by it. Okay, this is a hard pill to swallow. Ready? What kind of things can you do with your sword? That's a different sight. I'm just kidding. So it can be very different. So, okay, here's a big pill to swallow. Are you ready? When you actually dress your healing and you move on from trauma with your freaking family that you were raised by wolves, we're not going to be rude to wolves because wolves are great, because we don't want to be insulting to wolves. But many of y'all, and myself included, were raised by wolves, right? And so that's what you know. That's all you know. It's familiar. It's familiar to stay there, and to step into living a life that you really love, it can be unfamiliar. It's different. You're like, how the hell are you playing a purple violin with drums, with puppets, with pigtails? What? Because my daughter, who's brilliant, my daughter comes from another planet, y'all. She said, Mommy, you're going to keep getting canceled and banned. because you're speaking the truth. So speak with parables and puppets. She's a genius. She's a genius. And when I was said that, we were having this conversation. Alexa came on. This is before I unplugged her and put that bitch over there by herself, unplugged. And she goes, "I don't understand you." And I go, "Oh, don't worry, Alexa. We're just speaking in parables with puppets." And Alexa goes, "I don't understand you when you're speaking in parables with puppets." I'm like, excellent. Excellent. We will speak in parables with puppets. Oh, that's terrible. With puppets. my kid. Ever since I'm gonna make a series of T-shirts for my kid eventually, and also she wrote a movie, and she has a product that you're gonna literally like. When I release her product, y'all are gonna be like, "What?" Just give me a minute. I'm getting organized and putting all of my stuff in order so that I can work on my kids' stuff. So she has a product that she's like, everybody needs this. Everybody needs this because they're so offended. She's like, people are too offended, and they're missing the whole point. They're wasting time by being offended. And I was like, brilliant, child. Brilliant, child. And she says also, they're also too drunk. I was like, are you talking about your father? And I was like, oh my God, it's wasting time by being offended. I was like, holy cow, you're so, who are you? I'm so lucky to have this kid. Parables and Puppets T-shirts, yeah. And yeah, her T-shirts, I started writing them down and putting them on my Facebook page years ago. And people will still send them to me today in their memories. They're like, oh my God, this one just popped up. Like she was 2 and she goes, "Mommy, why are we afraid of fear?" I'm like, I don't, because, yeah, she's ahead of her time like me. Yeah. The difference is I'm supportive of her and I see her and I'm like, yay, you kid. What can I do to help you? I have to get out of my own stuff. I'm very, very, honest with her. She can ask me anything. That's our agreement. I will never have a secret from you, even if it's cursing, even if it's things you think you can't talk about. You can talk about anything with me. You have a total safe place to talk to with me. And there has been times when she's come home from school and she goes, "Remember what you said about a safe place?" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Mommy, can I say anything?" And I was like, "You can say anything to me." She says, "Shut the windows." I was like, "Okay." So I shut the windows. She goes, I was like, "Okay, are you all right now? You feel better?" She's like, I'm like, fair. I feel you, child. I feel you. That's how you put your violin out of tune, knocking it around like that. What did you say? If you deepen your relationship with God, yes, the great cheerleader is so helpful and necessary. Yeah, it's true. My child, love her hair. She's fabulous. Her name is Aurelia. Aurelia was Julius Caesar's mother, known for her beauty and her common sense. And that is also my daughter. She's known for her beauty and her common sense. It also is a glow-in-the-dark jellyfish, which is her personal favorite. It also means gold in Latin, which she is a golden child, and she is a glow-in-the-dark jellyfish. So any kind of glow-in-the-dark jellyfish art you can find. And this kid, man, you two cheerlead each other. Yeah, it's awesome. They told me I couldn't have a baby in my 40s, and I had one acupuncture treatment. One acupuncture treatment, and I got pregnant. Tried to do it again, but I think my body hated my ex-husband. What does LFG mom mean? What does LFG mean? My mom named me Cynthia for no more sin, but it means more moon goddess. Ooh, nice. Nice. I love it. My kid. I also went through all the fertility, y'all. That's another trauma thing that people don't talk about is fertility and losing babies. I lost nine. I lost nine babies. And then I even went through the fertility thing where they shoot you up with uh, you have to needle yourself, and then rush to the thing, rush to the place and get inseminated. And I've done it with just the big giant turkey baster that the doctor bones you with. And then I've also done it where they put you out and they bring your eggs out and they put them in the dish and then they put them back in. And it didn't work. I think I hated my husband, to be honest. And because all of that happened, and then I got divorced and I had sex with men in their 20s and I got pregnant right away. Oh, that's funny. It didn't hold, thank God. Otherwise, we'd be having a different show right now. I would be holding babies because I'm definitely not taking care of that. I'd be like, oh, I'm sorry about you. Listen, this happened, and that was a gift from God right now. And you loved and wanted a child so much. Well, I wanted a boy. Yeah, I did. I wanted also a boy. And Aurelia's like, F that. She probably was like, please let it not happen. It's funny. Someone's bringing it down. Don't even want them. I know. It's funny. It's like, I also think that we're poisoned in our food and our water and all kinds of things. And it's intentional. It's intentional. Blah, 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 blah. Are you playing the violin? Timothy, you have found an. Are you okay? Timothy's going crazy. Timothy, get a hold of yourself. Timothy's going crazy, y'all. What? I mean, come. I'm not taking it away from you. Oh, cheers for it. Yeah, so I mean that is trauma, and trauma can be. Good job, Timothy. I love it. So that my point is bringing that up is trauma can be. Bye, Jackie. I love you. Trauma can show up in so many ways. It's not just child abuse. It's trauma is things you've witnessed, things you've tried to do and failed. So that's why the sword works so well, and people use it for bullying with kids. And the trauma of losing babies is very, very, that's traumatic, right? The worst was when we tried and it didn't work, right? And then they called like a year later with a bill. They sent me a bill for the freezer, and they're like, here's your $300 bill for your freezer eggs. And I was like, I don't have any. It didn't work. And they're like, oh, well, there's one embryo. It's in the freezer. And I was like, wait, what? Oh my God. Well, then let's try. Might as well try if there's one, right? And so I was like, okay, well, I'll start doing all that stuff again. I still have some left over. And then my midwife calls the next day and she's like, that was a mistake. They shouldn't have told you that. That was that was not one. And I was like, there goes a roller coaster of your heart. There it goes. There goes a roller coaster of your heart, and you're down again. I was like, oh my God. So I've been through it, y'all. And that's also why I share so openly about my own stuff, because it's going to hit somebody. Somebody's like, oh my God, me too. Oh my God, me too. So whatever happens to you in your life, that's why I'm so open. You're like, and that's also why I'm calling out like perps and also trolls, because they're only going to want you to shut up. They're only going to want you to shut up, because as we help each other and elevate, those people will be silenced and drowned. And so they don't want us to share. Why do you think they want to get rid of TikTok? I mean, hello. And then on all the other platforms, they're doing exactly what they are accusing TikTok of doing. I'm like, it's so messed up. And many times the perps will accuse the bad perp is going to accuse the good mom of what he's doing. My dad did that. Like, they're like, oh, I think she's being inappropriate with my daughter. And I'm like, even as a little kid, I was like, you are a dang fool. Liar. But it's hard to point that out and actually have accountability when it's the person that's high up in the society, and you're like, wait. Those other people look crazy. Yeah, they look crazy because they're totally traumatized. That's why they look crazy. Yeah. So, yeah, my perp does that with our kid. Yeah. I'm not surprised. So much. Oh, I wasn't holding this correctly. Look, there we go. This is the correct way to hold your bow, darling. Look at all my nails. They're all different colors, like us. We're all different colors, like us. All different. Ah! All different traumas with crazy people. With crazy people. They're not crazy. They're poisoned. Yes. Life is divine, not sinful. I like to lift it off, but you're not supposed to do that. The teacher says, no, keep it on. Keep your bow on the string. What? Like that. Why can't I do that? You're breaking rules, Shelton. You're not supposed to do it. You're not supposed to do that. Hey, listen. Let's go back to the workbook. Ask them, is it bad for the bow? No, it's just bad for the sound. It's like you're supposed to keep it on and then tilt your bow down. You know what? I mean, have you met me? I break rules. I'm a rule breaker. So, what kinds of things can you do with your sword? Break rules with it? Yeah, I use my sword when I exercise. So, how can you use the concept of the sword when you exercise? Huh. Well, I go on like 40-mile bike rides. I climb stuff. I climb mountains. I go to cold plunges. I do all that. What do you do? How can you use the concept of the sword when you exercise? Well, how can you use it when you exercise? We attract our lives based on the emotions we experience. Yes. That's why every man who likes me is real funny. You got to be funny to like Shelton. Otherwise, you're like, anybody see my TikTok that I posted this morning? God, it was so funny that I shared about when I tried out the daddy thing. Oh God, that was really funny. Here comes my raw milk, y'all. I was negative, depressed, thought everyone was crazy, dysfunctional, and really you were talking about yourself. Mm-hmm. And then when you healed your own self, you don't see people like that anymore. Is that what happened, Kitty? Mm-hmm. Believe me, yeah. My life was extremely painful and difficult, and you were correct. Yes, 100%. Yeah, but you got it, girl. You got it. You bring it to yourself. You know. I stayed quiet. Could you imagine me as quiet? Like I've stayed quiet and behaved far too many times, and it came from somebody being uncomfortable around me. You know, I got the whole, why are you doing that? Why are you dancing like that? You need to sit down. You're making me uncomfortable. You're embarrassing me. And so I would silence myself and not do what I really, really love to do. No, just no. Oh, no, just know I'm drinking it. This is my milk. I ain't sharing. This is what I do. This is mine. Nobody touch it. It's mine. This is, they're like, okay, we won't. This is raw milk. Pasteurized milk in the grocery store makes you sick. And this is raw milk. I will drive. I've got my dairy farmers. I've got 3 of them within like 30 minutes, and I will drive to them. Mm-hmm. Also, why my skin looks so good is raw milk. And also, regenerate. You've heard me talk about that a lot. My friend Sean Gilder. I don't drink any right now. Raw milk is so good. And it's hard to get, and in some states it's illegal. I wonder why. I wonder why things that would make you healthy would be illegal. You got to look at who's lobbying for it. I mean, it's really not rocket science. I met my husband that way. I pretended I had a relationship with him. That's really funny. I got my husband by pretending I was with him. Oh God. I used to say that about Jim Carrey. I've always had a super crush on Jim Carrey until I saw that he also has a house on Maui that shockingly didn't burn. And I was like, oh God, that's mortifying. Oh God, I no longer like Jim Carrey. That makes me sick. Anyway. What? OTS illegal in my crapple state? Yes! That it's illegal because and many times you can find a dairy farmer, by the way, who you can like buy a cow. You can it's like it's co-op a cow. Like you can all go in and have a piece of a cow. And it's oh no, Jim is what? Uh, I wish I could get raw milk. Yes. Where what state are you in? There's a site like raw milk near me, and it shows you all the places that have it. It is astronomically amazing. Like, cause I grew up with asthma and in and out of hospitals and couldn't breathe and the whole nine yards. And whenever I had dairy from the supermarket, the pasteurized, you want to hear something nasty? The real dairy, the raw dairy has microbes in it that are full of light. Learned from the one in Nashville. I'm like, I've learned so much. I was like, wait, what? And it's like the microbes have like this light emanating, and the pasteurization kills the microbes, but they don't take them out. So you're actually drinking dead microbes, and then hold yourself, look away. And then in the raw milk, it has all the good stuff. And they're going to tell you that it's not good because they're like, they want you to have the big machine stuff. And they're like, oh no, you can't have that. That's bad. Just like, oh no, you can't have actual natural healing stuff because that's bad. You need to go to the farm away. You need to go farm away. That's what you need to do because that's the only way to work. I'm like, oh God. It's all, and then guess what? You're gonna roll back in. You're gonna roll around. You're gonna roll around in the lies, and then you're gonna open your eyes and you're gonna see organized perpetrators right up here, trying to keep people, not trying, very, very, very successful with keeping people poisoned. Yeah, that's right. Anywho, the more of us who are aware, the more we can actually get healthy. Oh my God, it's terrifying. It's plus probiotics. Yes. So just look up raw milk near me. Yes. This use some Brave is a good search engine. Also, I use Ecosia, Ecosia, like Ecosia, like Sia on her chandelier, but she's Ecosia. That is a search engine that when you use it, they plant trees. You're welcome. That's pretty cool. And Google, I think what was it, August 8th or something, changed their policy that they will no longer make it searchable for you to search independent journalists. What'd you say? Yeah. What? Yeah. There, it's all mind mailed. It's all mind mailed. So mine was successful, that's for sure. Yep. Backstabber song just popped into my head. Yeah, smile in their face as you go get your raw milk. You can come to my house. No, you can't. It's a lie. I was lying. You're not invited. I'm sorry. I live secret places. You never know where I'm going to be. I might show up at Heather's house. Like, and careful, because I actually am coming to your house. I actually do friend people. And I'm friends with Heather now on here. And then I showed up at her house and I was like, oh my God, I love you. And then next thing you know, she's like, well, I have a room for you now. This happens. Guys, all right. Let's go back to this. How do you use your sword when you exercise? And what does that mean? So when you're exercising, when you're moving your body, me, it's dance, like crazy improv dance. Yes, crazy improv dance. Thank you, Jerome. God, keeping my YouTube alive. I'm working on my YouTube channel, y'all. My daughter said something too. She's like, Mommy, your YouTube sucks. You need to do those reaction videos. So I shot my first reaction video, Jonathan. Thank you so much. And I'm going to be honest. I mean, it's like, what can you not be honest about? It's like, what? I'm going to be honest about I help men. Okay. I'm honest about that. I'm honest that my YouTube is sad. We're going to work on it. And so I did my very first reaction video. I haven't edited it yet, but I did it I reacted to yoga videos. I personally think that's funny. Jason doesn't. Yes, men need help. And we need men. We need men. And men are being devalued and women are being erased. Have you noticed? Yeah. And that is like in the headlines and that is intentionally put into the global brain intentionally by these little MRFers up here that poison all this stuff to keep us fighting, to keep us separated so that they can take over all of your life and country and have their World Economic Forum. Yeah. And if you look up the World Economic Forum, you'll see a bunch of perpetrators. And their latest is a campaign to no longer call women women, to call them humans with bonus holes. That is not a lie. You're just like, what'd you say? I'm sorry, but I'm an American. I'm an American that doesn't belong to any party because I'm like, y'all are crazy. I'm like a female Huckleberry Finn hanging in between all y'all's poles. and and pointing out some like, y'all need to eat better. So I'm never gonna like lecture people about anything. All I'm doing is living my own life and I'm doing it. So I have to address this stuff. I have done this work. I personally have done this work on, oh God, the fertility, losing 9 babies. The coming from my dad was the perp in the van down by the river, domestic violence. I was oh my God, in Hollywood, I had millions, plural, millions of dollars stolen from a dirty distributor who was flipping houses, who was buying houses around the country and flipping them. What the hell? And anyway, I worked with the FBI to catch him. Did we get any of the money back? No. Did I lose every single dollar I ever made? Yes. Yes, I did. It was like a big fat zero. And that happens in family court too, with people in family court. So they understand what I mean by that. And it's like, I've lost everything more than once. So I'm an open book like that. Cause I'm like, y'all, we can make it back. We can make it back. And also, it happens. Perpetrators want you to be Poe. And you know what? Some of the best people in my life I've ever known that are the great, most genuine people are Poe country folk. Yeah. And when all y'all city folk and all those liberals who've adopted that term, that it's had been hijacked and poisoned, so many of my friends too in the city, that like country people are horrible. They're Bible holding. They have GUNS. They're really dumb. I'm like, that is so not true. And also, that's the ones who are going to save your butt. So you better be making a pie for them. Anyway, that's my talk. I talked to the cops and schmeged crime investigation and got zero help. Yeah, well, probably because they're in it. Probably because they're in it. El Paso and Juarez is a great example. The border of El Paso and Juarez is a huge human tea place where they, trade humans. And why is that not shut down? Why don't you just go and shabam, shut it down? Because the government officials and the cops are also playing in the party. Yeah. And then you want to hear something real nasty that you don't want to know? I'm sorry to tell you, is that those places where there's those hubs where Nashville's a big hub too, sadly. And oh God, it's like, oh my God. Like watch your kids, y'all, watch your kids. And and be warrior up. Get out of this stunted phase and get into this phase. Okay? That's why I'm doing this work, is because we need to be in this phase. Seriously, we need to be in this phase because the government officials and the cops are in on it. And then you'll, at the hubs, like at the trafficking hubs, be careful what you say. Yeah, I did that. Whatever. I love you too. They also have big, huge hangars, like airline hangars, and they're full of. You ready for this? Freezers. Yeah, because when they're done with those humans, when they're used up, they use them for their organs. Yeah, and so you'll find things I wish I didn't know. Yeah, walk with a big stick, seriously. And it's like that can be so daunting, and so like I hear that stuff, and I unfortunately know way too much, and it makes me want to lay in traffic and give up and just like, well, what's the heck? And then you see the layers of people and I'm gonna speak the truth here. My liberal friends who have adopted that term and are like anything rat wing, they will be like, oh, we don't do that. Like the whole separation thing, you got to stop. You got to stop the whole separation thing because you're promoting perpetrators. Okay. And it's like, I'm telling you this from an outside perspective. I'm hanging in the tree watching all of it. Unfortunately, I know a lot about it and I really wish that I didn't. But you are perpetuating the perpetrators. Yeah. And they're all in it together. And it's like when we wake up and step back and stop this whole anti each other that is systematically set up for us to argue and be stunted. It's like you can compare it really to like a perp in a house, that he's perping on one of the kids and then the other kid is not, and then there becomes a fight. Well, daddy doesn't do that. No, yeah, he does. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Yeah, he does. I'm gonna protect dad. No, you're lying. You're lying. And it's like, oh God. Oh, it's yeah. Anyway, thing, but not gonna ask anyone if they care. I felt it. My mom asked me if I cared if she jumped into traffic at 5. Oh God. That is so not the thing. Again, raised by wolves, but I don't want to be disrespectful to wolves. I mean, wolves are great. Yeah, Chris, it is sick, and it's a sick world, and we are being poisoned. And as we start, we're like you and me, like, you know what I mean? Us on here, wherever you can in your life, stop that BS of, your red friend versus your blue friend, your Christian friend versus your Buddhist friend, or what. Like, if you just shh, and look at you where you're being poisoned in your mouth and your mind, and start depoisoning yourself in your mouth and your mind. Stop reading the headlines. Stop eating the poison. Then we can become more really awake, not woke. Really awake, because even that is a ploy. Like, that's a whole puppeting. It's a puppeting. When you see that they're puppeting you, or they're puppeting us, I get angry about it. And I'm like, you mother. And it's like, it's so daunting, because it's like, what can you do? What can you do about that when they have endless supplies of money? Endless supplies of money. Like I just said, I just 2 days ago found about another one who is a total like devil, and he has $800 million. He can do whatever he wants, and he's not going to get caught because he's friends with the cops. It's just like, oh my God, it just seems so daunting that what can we do about it? And I truly believe, I'm a big believer. I believe in it, that there's actually a spiritual war going on. I believe that as we get better and we do this, we get out of this phase and we're in this phase, which is what we're in today. We get into play. We get into like getting back into your inner kids, getting back into your play time. I know that makes no sense, because it's like, how can you play in the face of the devil? I'm like, well, I have some theories on that. I think that you play more. I think that you play more, kind of like my kid says, Mommy, teach parables with puppets and don't get suspended. Hey, y'all, play more. Get happier in your own life. Stop trying to hold a sign. Stop trying to battle against your neighbor who's red or blue or whatever the hey. It's like, get better in your own life, and we will expand. We will extend that energy, and we'll elevate and expand together. And then we could drown them. Because if we are just pounding the toe of the beast, all that you're doing is getting tired. Because us like fight, like doing this like anti-blue, anti-red, anti-blue, anti-red, blah, 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 is wasting time. This is my own. Hey, look, that's my inner child just speaking the truth. Blah, 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 blah. And so, when you didn't get to be a kid, honor your inner kid. Yes, and when you can use your country folks, use us poor country folks. Seriously, Jerome, us po country folks, like, love them up. Seriously. Thank you, Jonathan. I feel that as we're doing it, we're mirrors for each other. So I'm a mirror for you of like, I got out of all that stuff. I got out of it. I'm not in it anymore. I'm not in the self-abuse, the self-mutilation, the self-hatred, the repeated abusive relationships. Like, I stepped out of all that, and it is unfamiliar, and it is lonely. It is, because you get like, well, when they say it's lonely at the top, it's lonely when you start getting better and like healing, and you just don't like let that in your life anymore, right? You might trip up. Like, I've tripped and fell into a few beds. What'd you say? Don't judge yourself. It was quite fun. Why are you talking? So so get healthy, play, get healthy. Then what? You know what? No, just no. I don't know. I really don't know. I think that we bond together, and then we are healthy unit. And then what? I have theories. I have my theory. Do you see how all of these robberies are happening around the country, where people are just going into the stores and just robbing stuff, right? It's the men. There are groups of men who are tackling those people, and it's in small towns, not the cities, who are taking care of business. I truly think that it's about us bonding together and supporting each other in community and the bond. That's why they're devaluing men and erasing women, because they don't want this to happen. So y'all, as a total female, I will feed you, I will heal you up, I will hold you and help men be more men, so that the trucks, for example, the trucks that are going, right? That you can't call the cops on because they're a part of it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be men. I think it's going to be American men who are like, nah, we're going to stop that. We're going to find out about it. We're going to get healthy in our own lives, and we're going to stop it. It's a theory that I have, but I could be wrong. I could be right. I think I'm right because I've seen it with my own eyes. Look at what what's his face did. What's his name? Tim. That he's the story behind Sound of Freedom. That's only one story. That's all one story. And yeah, togetherness. And there is a reason when you start seeing headlines, when you see headlines that are about devaluing men, men are bad, toxic men, women are crazy, women, girl, girl, slay. You're better than that. You don't need a man. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Whether you're in Alphabet City or not, you know what I mean? You could be in Alphabet City. That doesn't mean you don't need a man. Because it's the masculine energy and the feminine energy. They work together to bond, to create family and community. And that does not mean LGBT anti. Like my brother's gay, and he's dead now. And I have lots of. I made a couple gay movies. Like my boxing movie has a trans in it. That's an amazing story. My freaking Eagle and Albatross, the lead girl is gay. You know what I mean? Asian. Like It's not. That's not a matter. But in the powers that be, these little puppets up here that are puppeting our minds will trick you and tell you that, oh, if you're not about all of our stuff that we're poisoning your minds with, then that means you hate gay people. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It means you hate people, and you're trying to separate community. That all of us have that in our families anyways. Like we have it in our families anyways. We have a little bit of everything, you know. And if you're in my family, we got some black babies in there too. Like, you know what I mean? You got everything. And so it's like, why not bonding together, supporting men supporting women. That's what I'm about, because that's also why I'm super supportive of men, because we need them. True. Thank you. And it's like the poisoning is coming from them, and there really is a them. There really is a them. We have been on TV commercials into paying for bad health. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And dude, get an octopus on eBay. You know what? Use Folk Manus. I was sponsored by the Folk Manus puppets. They're the best. Y'all want to name a puppet today? This is Timothy. Kathy named Fly the other day. Fly eats negative thought patterns. Look, this is Fly. Angela, let's make a documentary about this. Who's paying for it? Who we? Hey Jay, so this is Fly, and he eats negative thought patterns and then burps out a positive. Anybody want to give him something negative? Hey. Good morning. I love your hair today. Thank you. I'm in my playtime. We're in playtime. Timothy on a soft t-shirt with puppets and parables on it. Oh, that's awesome. That's a good idea. I need to make some t-shirts. Anxiety. Oh, you have anxiety? Is eating anxiety. Yum. You are calm and centered and precious, and your skin looks beautiful. There you go. Okay, Jay, who are we naming today? I'm going to reach over here. Oh my God. Who we got? You want to name my... Hold on now. We've got a Pussy to name. This is a good one. Look, this is a really realistic puppet. These puppets are so great. Meow. Meow. She's big. You're big. You're like a big old Maine Coon. But I don't know. What's your undercarriage look like? I don't know. You're silly. Oh my gosh. You're silly. You're cute. Hey. These puppets are so hard because it's like, how do you get this? Like, it's like this. Like, you get like arthritis from working a puppet. Listen. Okay, hold on. Are you a nice kitty? A nice kitty. You're so fuzzy. You're heavy. You're heavy. Pee-wee. Use your arms. Oh my God, the one. Oh my God, you're here. Oh, look. Oh, shit. Thank you. The one in Nashville sent me a rose. How does that work? The one in Nashville? Shit, howdy. How do I click on you and get you in here? We're talking about playtime today. And you want to name my kitty cat? You want to name my Pussy? You be nice. Felix the kitty. Jesus entered. Elvis. Oh, that's a good name. This is a good name. Elvis. How do I click on? I need you. I need you. The one in Nashville. Where are you? How do I do this? Now we're in the thing of like, how do you add somebody? I think you have to comment and then I can click on you. What? Where's our assistants? I requested. Oh, see? Guests. Is that going to work? Hey, it worked. I have to click on your profile. You want to name my Pussy, Jesus? Look what I got today. Hey! I can't see you.
That's weird. Hold on.
Jesus is in the house. We're talking about having playtime today in the face of perpetrators.
Well, can you see me?
No. Oh yeah, I can now. Sorta.
Okay, so yeah, I tuned in and I was hearing you talk about masculine and feminine, and I was like, I feel like I've heard this before.
It's true.
Because I say the same things and then I get labeled a misogynist.
But we need the men. We need you, and that's that. I'm not gonna shut up about that, especially when it comes to trauma. I'm gonna hold this Pussy.
Trying to figure out how to get this thing adjusted. So
hey, should we name this Jesus? No, we can't name you Jesus. You're a kitty cat. Kitty.
It's not working. There we go.
Yay. Yay.
I need
Well,
a better one of these mic stands.
We were having the discussion of liberals and conservatives, and it's like that just needs to get thrown right out the window.
Well, yeah, it's so dumb because it's been the divide and conquer technique.
Yep.
For hundreds of years now.
Yep.
We're in a post. We're entering a post-politics world because it really comes down to the individual. Because there's Democrats that don't toe the line. There's very few, by the book. I do have to say most of them are in a cult. But and then there's Republicans that don't toe the line, but it's such a minority because both teams are tribal. It's like rooting for the Tennessee Titans versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right?
That's what it's evolved into.
I want a genderless Godhead. It's so true. And it's like, because this all started asking about if you and I hate liberals. And I was like, what? That's not true.
I don't hate liberalism, but here's the problem. Is that many liberals actually are stuck in victimization. And when you're stuck in victimization, it's like it's the cultic part of liberalism. It's actually not liberalism. I don't know if I'm explaining.
Yeah, it was like the definition of liberal is me. You know, if you actually go to the definition of a liberal, I'm like, oh, I would be a liberal.
Well, no, but that's the thing. I'm liberal on a lot of things.
Right.
Like, I believe anyone should be able to do whatever they want to do, but I don't want to see your penis. And I don't want any kids to see your penis.
Don't say that word.
What I mean? Oh, sorry. Don't.
Felix.
Don't.
Okay.
Felix.
Don't you
I
say
don't
your.
want to see your. I don't want to see your Felix.
Hello, is this Felix? Okay, we got to name this cat. We got Felix. We got Elvis. We got Cool Bean Paws. Coco. What's Bellamy? I like that, Jay. Bellamy. We don't have to label everything. Yeah, exactly. Well, when we label everything, it separates everything, Betty, right?
No labels, but also no labels grounded in reality. We're not birds.
Yeah. What's this cat's name? Bellamy? Am I going to remember that?
Felix.
Felix. Who said that? Somebody said that first and they win. Felix. I got to scroll up. Who said Felix? Jimbo. Jimbo said Felix. Jimbo's been around on TikTok a long time with me. So maybe he's going to win. Damn. Bellamy. Does it look like a Bellamy or a Felix? I don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows. Felix. Jimbo. I swear to God, I ate that sandwich and I'm paying for it.
You sound a little nasal.
I know. I woke up wanting a man and a humidifier.
That makes sense. You get both of those together, you know.
I know. I was like, where's my man and a humidifier right now? That'd be great.
Yeah.
So, but you're so eloquent about it also, about talking about all this, about the separation, because I've been going over my workbook for August and we do it every single morning, talking about my whole concept. I know you've heard me talk about it, about sword of trauma. So like if you're stunted with the sword and you're like, you are staying stunted, even with the words you use, including like separation of men and women. And then when you start to actually heal yourself and then get to this place instead of this place, you realize like, oh, we have to be bonded together.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's when you have masculine energy and feminine energy united for a common goal, it's very potent because the man wants to be the man, especially in front of the feminine. So that pushes the man to work harder, better, faster, be a better version of himself. And then same thing with the woman too.
Yeah.
So when you divide or try to erase gender, then you're taking away power from the masses because, like I said, a united feminine and masculine are well, sure, Kitty Light Fund, many men use violence and suppression, but, you know, we're in a super hyper stressed state right now, all of society, and because we're agitated with each other.
And then we have puppets that can make us laugh and be like, what's the thing?
Who's telling Kitty Light Fund to be a woman? I mean, I don't know. I feel like you can be whatever you want to be now. Everybody's accepting. Maybe not, though. You tell me.
Yeah, I feel that's. There's definitely men who are stuck in their trauma and who want to suppress, and I get that, but that's not the majority. Even on here, for example, on my TikTok, I have a troll always show up. That doesn't outnumber the good men by any stretch.
You're right, Kitty Light Fund, but those are not men in their masculine. And what I was just speaking of is men in their masculine and women in their feminine. There's a Jungian concept called animus. Carl Jung, one of the elite thinkers and psychology kind of creators of, he's among Freud and the heavy hitters. When in a stressed state, women will go into animus, which is a caricature of masculinity. And men will go into animus, which is a caricature of femininity. And we can both think of what the ultimate expressions of both of either being an animus. The ultimate expression would be,
Is this why so many men want the PEG?
I believe so. And then back to what Kitty Light Fun said as well is healthy men and women. Yes, if you're not healthy, it is very easy to fall into animus. That's not the correct spelling for seaside.
That's Dawn.
It's close, but if you look up Carl Jung, Jung, it's animus.
How do you do it, Jay? I'm trying to figure out.
I'm gonna try.
Pardon me. I've been live with Austin before, and we were half screen, and we're learning how to do this. I'm like, and by the way, Jesus, Sean, he doesn't answer to that. He went past the 10,000 followers. Yay. You're fancy.
Yeah. So, the animus is a real thing. I mean, I can relate to it too. When I was under incredible stress, it was like, I could like feel the beta growing in me, and I was like, I gotta fix this.
Feel the beta growing in you. Oh God, go smack yourself a little bit.
right, yeah, like starting to get into victim mentality and the beta-ness, and I'm like, no, that's not it. I'm a creator, not a beta, and it comes from stress, because when your adrenals are depleted, you can't make your sex hormones, and when you can't, when you can't make your sex hormones, right?
So stupid.
When you can't make those hormones, then a man becomes beta, and then eventually hyper feminine, and we can all understand what the ultimate expression of being ultimately beta and hyper feminine leads to.
Yeah, they hit me up to get PEG. That's what happens.
And then after that, then snip, and after that, become a caricature of a woman. Which, if I were a woman, I would be upset that there's caricatures of me running around. I feel like it's like blackface. If somebody can just identify and put on a dress, and it's like somebody doing blackface, it's just as, in certain contexts, can be just as what's the right word? Just as offensive. But yeah, I think everybody needs to recognize and understand the Jungian concept of animus. It can explain a lot for where people are at.
Yep. And how does he show up, Jay? Does he show up as a little square in the corner? I'm trying to like click on you to figure out.
I see myself as a little square in the corner. I'm the screen.
Hey!
All right, now you are a little square.
Now I'm a little square. I'm poking around on you.
Let's see if I can.
Now I'm a little square. Let's see here. I'm like, how did I even do that? Let's see, effects. How did I do that? I don't even know how I did that. I'm like, I was just clicking around. Poster. Hey, poster. Posted Pat, y'all. I miss your face. I got a good face. Look at me today. I'm in Pom Pom world. I'm in Pom Pom happy world.
Afro puffs.
I was doing some playtime. So love you all. Love you too, Annie. I want to order that second. I want to order out of that second batch. Oh, do it. He's making it right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a bunch went out yesterday. A bunch are going out today. The whole first batch is gone today.
That's
probably.
So cool.
But then I added another 108. So
that's so cool. He's talking about regenerate. Where in the hell did I post?
And then we need to start like a program to get a free one.
Oh, that's a good idea.
To like give somebody a
God,
free
you're like me. You're like, do it all nice and rock.
Yeah, like maybe write up like a reason why you need it and what you're gonna do with it. Oh, especially if it's gonna be used at a regenerate party like you had.
I had a regenerate party.
We can get somebody that's gonna do a regenerate party and report back. Let's start like maybe one a month free, because people complain about the price. And I'm working on getting the price down.
Oh, good. But I mean, it would be nice if you made a profit, because people don't realize that you actually aren't making a big a profit right now. You know what I mean? It's like you're doing the kindness of you, because that's expensive, all the stuff you're doing. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you. And I haven't taken it. I didn't take it yesterday, and I didn't take it today. And I feel amazing.
Well, yeah, we talked about that too. It's something that builds up, and then you don't need to take it every day. That's why remember what I mentioned to you, Angela? That where'd you go?
I'm messing around. I'm touching stuff. There I go.
That's what I mentioned to you. Like when during the pandemic, when I was regenerating myself a lot, I got to a point where I was like, I'm like too chill to like. I'm too chill right now. So then I was like, I'm gonna take week to two off, and yeah, and I think it's nice because you can become in tune when you're a little bit too jazzed up, and and then use it as needed. It's not use it on a schedule until you get calm. Once you're calm, use it as needed.
Right. I'm just poking around.
You'll have it soon, moments to memories. And, because I did open up more because it was just, unexpected demand. Most of them will come branded, but a few might come in an unbranded jar. But I'm working on getting the branded stuff back. Should be in by September 5th, but I just don't want to. Some people that are trying to quit drinking, I don't want to delay it even a day if I don't have to. So
for real.
If y'all get the unbranded one, I don't know, maybe we can figure out a way to ship you out a branded one after the fact, because I understand people want that.
Yeah.
If anybody gets an unbranded one and wants a branded one, just send us a message, and once they're in, we'll ship out a branded one.
And then I'm working on the actual the official bottle that'll be the amber, the little nice top, and it looks amazing. So I'm not worried about being branded. You got some good comments over here. Unexpected demand. It is gold. It's
for real. It was. I was expecting to trickle these out. Just a few a week.
I wasn't. I knew it was gonna hit. I knew it.
Yeah.
And what's the price? Art Shop. It's $220 free shipping on your site. And it's
on the one in Nashville. Yeah, if you go to Loot, it's not free shipping. So go to the one in Nashville. The one in Nashville, you get the free ship.
It's so worth it because it was $200, $220. But I am not buying alcohol, and I'm not buying this.
Yeah, things that you cannot speak of.
I cannot speak of these things. And that's all expensive stuff. I'm highbrow. I like me some high class things. You know what I'm saying? And the things that I like are expensive.
Sea moss, black seed oil, and Celtic salt, great combination. To Jonathan West, just to comment on that.
I've been secretly playing frequency healing tones. Nice.
I have an appointment coming up soon for a frequency healer in Nashville.
Cool.
I'm going to report back to everybody on how that goes.
I love it.
I've read a lot about Rife technology, and Rife got persecuted by the alliopaths. And anybody who gets persecuted by the alliopaths leads me to believe they were on to something.
Right.
They don't want that money train to stop. If the alliopaths wouldn't have went after him, then I would believe that it didn't work. But since the alliopaths went after him, I believe that it does work. So
exactly.
I have some Rife work done to see what happens.
That's cool. I've tried every single healing technique known to man. So I'm always up for trying new. I've been in like the Life Vessel in Colorado. That's amazing. Like it's kind of like a coffin that you lay in, and it's light and sound therapy, and it feels like you're elevating inside there. That got me out of a lot of chronic pain. That was amazing.
Yeah, the light stuff. Yeah.
Light and sound.
It's light like, and frequency together.
Yep, it's really great.
That guy that runs Unified TV, which has a weird spelling. It's like with a Y. Jason Shrutka. He's trying to open up light and sound healings all over the country. He's not all over yet, but he's in a bunch of cities and states. Jason Shrutka.
Love it.
There was one comment. This guy
must not have kids.
funny from our soul shop in South Africa. Not funny, strange, funny, not good. Is $200 is a week of groceries here in America too.
Truth.
Yeah.
Well, $200. I would spend $200 on my fancy beers. Easy, like easy.
Yeah, and somebody else asked, would it help with smoking cessation?
Yes.
And yeah, there's
gotta bye stay.
It was not my focus on it, but the thing that it seems to alleviate is it relieves that low-level anxiety so that one is not in the state of needing something.
Jonesing.
For everybody, it's different. Some people, it's donuts. Some people, it's
Snapchat.
Right. Some people, it's I'm trying to think of a good word for something we can't say.
Segs.
Some people for jazz cabbage, you know. Jazz cabbage? Too obscure?
Yeah, what's jazz cabbage? You mean like that?
No. Jazz
this.
Cabbage. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, yeah, what is jazz cabbage?
Yeah, because it just kind of attenuates that need for something.
That's so funny.
And I think that's what a lot of smokers are on. It's just they have a constant need for something, you know. And then that other also plays into social media too, because being in a constant state of need, you need a dopamine hit. You need a like. You need a comment. You need something.
I deleted Snapchat off my phone because full disclosure, was only looking at it for this one dude.
Oh yeah.
And then every time I got like that little sound of snap, like you get a little snap and you get the little sound, I would think it was him, and I'd be like, oh, and then it wouldn't be, and I'd get upset, and so I just deleted it off my whole phone. That's what happened with me with Regenerate. I deleted Snapchat.
One of the things too is like if I always have to keep an eye on if my phone ding or vibrate triggers a negative feeling or a positive feeling. And if that ding or that vibration triggers a negative feeling, then you need to remove whatever app, whatever person, whatever thing is triggering a negative person, because there was a time when I was in the throes of running a car dealership where it was every vibration, tone, anything coming out of my phone immediately triggered like a trauma response. It was just like, oh God, what do I have to deal with now? What's on fire now? You know? And then that became normal to me. And then once I got away from that, I noticed that some people in my life made that chime scary or triggered me. And then I had, you have to remove those people. Block them.
For real.
It's your phone. This is your digital fake reality. So curate it as such, Don't follow any Instagram accounts that make you feel bad about yourself. That's your personal magazine. Set up your personal magazine to only show you things that make you feel good, because you want to feel good every day, not bad.
For real.
If Snapchat is making you feel bad, if TikTok's making you feel bad, it's time to go. And there's like a little tiny bug. I'm not voguing over here. A little tiny bug in my face.
I feel that. And yes, it's like getting off the corn, Angela. It's true. It's like getting off the corn. And today I had my day made because somebody who's addicted to the corn listened to a meditation I made. It's like a 30-minute, 40-minute meditation I do to help you get out of flashbacks. And she's, ever since she listened to that meditation, she's not on the corn. Yay. And I hope that everybody gets on Regenerate that needs it too. My name is Earl. I'm from Columbus, Georgia. Hey, Earl. Hey, Georgia. I love Elvis too, Angela. Yeah, I love me some Elvis. I've got Elvis of all kinds. I got Elvis boyfriend somewhere in here. I don't know where he is. Here he is. Here's Elvis. He's coming. Elvis is coming, y'all. Here he is. Hey.
Your book triggers flashbacks.
Are you in the middle of reading my book? It has a good ending. I'm going to read that. I'm going to start reading that next month, because this month we're doing my workbook. And you're
right, Paul. You're right, Kitty Light Fund. That is their plan, is to keep everybody in a stress state, because because when you're in a stressed state, you cannot think. You just react. And how you react is how you're programmed. That's the reason why there are a lot of entities that have a lot of power, have a vested interest to keep us in a stress state. And they do it with poisoning us, and they do it with poisoning us with junk food and junk information, junk news.
Triggers only work if you pull them.
Yeah, that's right, Jonathan. But if you're surrounded with people that are you're right, Jonathan. You know what? It is everyone's responsibility to not allow the triggers. It is. But until people learn how to spot a trigger first, and then second, the tools to not allow a trigger to trigger them. And unfortunately, I think it's probably about 80%. 80% or more, I think, don't even realize when they're triggered.
Right, because you've been living in a triggered response, raised by wolves.
Childhood.
Yeah, raised, and I said I've been saying, like, when you're raised by wolves, but wait, I don't want to insult wolves because wolves are great.
Well, actually, we did kind of eliminate wolves from this country because they were killing a lot of people and livestock. But
wolves are great; they're coming back. I don't want to disrespect
There's
wolves.
A lot of coyotes now in downtown Nashville, believe it or not.
What? That's crazy. Average empire only survives 250 years. Shay.
Yep, and if you believe Ray Dalio, we're in a real bad spot because he believes he believes in that very same thing. And we're getting near 250. The thing is, too, it's like really what America is it's an idea. Because the government changes here, every 4 or 6 years, 2 years, depending on which level of government. America is an idea, and as long as America is associated with freedom, rights,
bravery,
1A, 2A, bravery, if we can just keep the idea going, if they can't extinguish the idea, they'll eventually lose.
Well, come after Americans, you're going to lose. And also, come after Americans, you're going to lose. Because honestly, I know Americans.
Yeah.
And I think the whole pandemic was a coup to take over us completely. And I think that they were like, oh, wait, hold on. Americans ain't some dumb country folk. We might talk slow, some of us,
Yeah.
But it's like I lived in Hollywood forever and in New York City, and I've been in the fashion industry, the music industry, and Hollywood industry. And I mean, I sold a show to Showtime in 2002 about my family that accidentally adopted a black baby. So funny. It's called Chocolate Gravy. And listening to them like go over the script was fascinating to me. And how they said, can we add certain things in this script that show that the people in the South are stupid? And I was like, that's not the point of this whole show. It's sex, drugs, and Christian rock, and it's showing the truth. And they were like, well, we need to show that they're stupid. And I was like, you know what? I'm Southern. Did you know that I'm Southern? And they're like, yeah, but you got out.
Yeah, let's speak on that for a minute. The states that are known as flyover states to the coasts,
right?
The people that have never, as a kid, with my grandparents, we drove through like 42 of the 50 states. So I was aware.
That's awesome.
I was aware of this country as a child.
That's awesome.
A lot of these people that live in the coasts, they've never experienced the South.
They've never been.
They have this idea of anyone that has a little bit of an accent is an idiot. There's so much wisdom in the middle. there's so much ability to stay regulated in the proper nervous system. It's because everybody in the coasts in these big cities, they're the ones that are all constantly triggered. The ones in the middle, they're living lives where they're not constantly triggered. So they have wisdom and intelligence coming from a different source than the hyper analytical stressed coast.
But the hyper analytical stressed coasts are who are giving us our news and our entertainment. That's where your TV shows are coming from. That's where your movies are coming from. And that's also who's blocking the movies too, like mine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they know it's their power. They don't want to relinquish their power. And now, you know, the recording, music recording industry.
Yeah, right. Live Nation and that whole bullshit. Yeah, talk about that.
Live Nation.
Yeah. Same.
Yes. So, well, yeah. So the recording industry now is about 50-50. 50% of the monies made and the new artists are coming from Big Machine, which is the coasts, you know, the big machines, the big labels, and 50% is independent. So I think that a lot of those people are still too arrogant to realize that they are losing power, and they're losing power rapidly. And as they lose power, people are going to expose their dirty deeds as they lose power. And that's what we're going through both in Hollywood and in the music industry. I mean, I'm sure they're still doing bad contracts for artists, but you know, it's coming to an end. And I understand they're also trying to lock down the internet so that they have control in that new EU law that, you know, that just came out.
What's the EU law? And also, I wanted to circle back to Jay and Don, what you're saying, because I missed what you're saying. But anyway, what's the EU law?
The new EU law is why Google, or one of the reasons why Google did that August 8th thing where they're removing all independent journalists from search. And they're now admitting that they're purposefully shaping a global narrative.
Oh, wonder why.
The difference between global truth and global narrative.
Big
narrative
difference.
Includes lying. So, you know, so basically the new EU law says that the EU is going to start fining internet companies if they do not toe the narrative. If the companies release the truth, they can get fined by the EU for saying something true. How wild is that?
Oh my God! Like I'm not a human with a bonus hole.
Oh, and then one comment up here that you're so over patriarchal regions. Yeah.
Religions.
Well, don't forget. Oh, religion.
I'm over patriarchal religions.
We can't forget that the Queen of England ran 56 countries for the last 75 years. So we're not all a patriarchy. Remember Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah. And also these families
whose bloodline comes from Rothschilds, not Windsors. They changed their name. Remember that as well.
I personally think that we're not. I mean, I notice that that all the poison that's coming down from the top that trickles down to the red and blue and all of us to get fighting against each other is really throwing out this patriarchy and toxic men and all. And I believe that it is intentional to separate the men and women. And how to have the women hating on men and the men feeling beta. And, you know, it's like, I believe that's very intentional.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because men and their
good morning, sugar britches.
Men and their masculine will not put up with as much tomfoolery as betas. Betas are going to put up with anything that's thrown their way.
Oh, God, beta men. Oh, God, beta men. Jesus, Lord in heaven. I got him on my site, yo. I got him. And you're speaking. I'll talk more about chocolate gravy when I don't want to take Sean's time because I bet it is really funny. I wrote you would love my show actually. It's called Chocolate Gravy, and it's a series about my family that's very inspired by my family. That you would look at them, especially my uncle, and think, oh, he's one of them that hates everybody of any kind of different.
Wait, who hates everybody?
You would look at my uncle and assume that he was one of them dumb Southern people. Meanwhile, the show is about my family who accidentally adopted a black baby. And then it happened again. It's like it's a there's a pattern in my family. But the whole point was they took on this child and it bonded the whole communities, both families. So now, like at Thanksgiving at my house, it's like the freaking melting pot, like times 14. You know what I mean? We got everybody. And when you put them all down at the table, you know, you've got every color, you've got LGBT, you've got liberal, you've got conservative, you've got lunatic, you've got welfare, you've got rich, you got them all at the table. And so I just put them all at the table and let's have a conversation. And the show is really about God and like it's like kind of a Christian show in disguise. And they were not having it. I got paid to write it, thank God. But then when they saw it, they were like, the South isn't like this. They're all dumb. And I was like, I could introduce you to all of them. I could bring them in here, you know? And they're like,
there's smart people everywhere from every, I mean, Einstein
right,
was a patent clerk.
Right?
He's a patent clerk. I mean,
yeah.
He's a peasant. You know?
And they assume, and it's funny, like when I lived in LA, which is one of the most segregated RACIST cities I've ever been in, honestly.
Chicago is bad too.
And it's like, I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Uh-oh, you just went weird. There you go.
Yeah, it was low battery warning. I still got 20%.
And the people that were actually telling me how to write this thing are the ones that are living in a RACIST existence, you know?
It was like that famous tweet that got like tens of millions of views, where it was somebody that worked for Hillary said, well, now that affirmative action has been removed, how do you expect Black people to be able to compete?
Well, you just get what?
You just said like one of the most racist things that I've ever heard in my life.
Don't say that word. You'll get.
Oh.
Okay. I know. Well, that's the thing. We can't talk. Like here I am helping people in the human T word, as in there's lots of traffic, and it's like you can't even say the word. Like you can't even talk about child sexual abuse to help people get out of it, because if you say certain words, you'll get canceled. And it's like, oh, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
For God's
sakes.
Sake.
Control. That's why freedom of speech is so important, because if you can't speak it, then eventually you can't even think about it.
I like how you say
once you can't think about it, then you're stuck.
I love how you put it. It's freedom of thought. We need freedom of thought.
Yeah. Well, it's tied. Freedom of speech and thought are the same thing. Because you can't firmly get a concept until you teach it to someone else. I'm a firm believer in that. If you think you understand a concept but you can't teach it to somebody else, you don't fully understand the concept. And then the more that I talk to people about things and explain concepts to things, and the more I understand the concepts. And while I'm explaining them, I'm like, wait a minute, this connects with this too.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a better understanding the more that you explain it.
Right.
Which, it's.
That's why this works so well. This concept works so well when people just see it. Their trauma is like a simple, like as a sword. And if you look at it as a sword, it doesn't seem so daunting because it has an end point, That's why it works so well. So.
And what Sean O'Rourke said, and the Rockefellers stated that when they started the public school system. And then if you want to look up who wrote the textbooks, the name on the textbooks that created the textbooks is Maxwell. Maxwell. And that's connected to human T's.
Yep. The human T word, as in traffic.
Yeah. Robert Maxwell, the father of another Maxwell, was friends with Jeffrey, who didn't kill himself.
Right. I did try. Oh, that's crazy. He's the father of the Epstein.
So Ghislaine's father is Robert Maxwell. Robert Maxwell created all the textbooks for America. He was MI6.
Oh my God.
And and then it's so. We were talking about Mockingbird because somebody was on some live. We were talking
Rachel.
about Mockingbird. Yeah. And then it's like, just go to the website, look it up. It's there on the official website.
Well, because
it's not like.
Yeah, well, because Rachel, God bless her, she's like MSNBC watcher, and she doesn't believe the conspiracy theories. She says about like Fox and all this stuff, and it's like that's why you're like it's all the same beast, all the same beast.
Yeah, and there's different factions, like there's one network in particular that used to let more dissent on its channels, but they also fired their most popular person.
Oh,
so
Tucker.
Now they're cracking down on dissent. But of course, he just got 250 million views in 24 hours yesterday.
What?
So they didn't shut anything down.
Nice.
The arrogance of these people that think that they can cancel somebody with the internet. But then again, that's why the new EU law has come out and why they're going to start promoting a global narrative on Google.
It's so terrifying because it's lies. It's just lies and lies and lies. Just like poisoning our food, poisoning our education, poisoning our people, and it's like, oh God.
But here's the thing: people are waking up to authenticity. People are detecting authenticity, and it's a beautiful thing. I don't know. Maybe at some point people wanted that like professional delivery and where people talked like, I don't know how, but in a peculiar way. I mean, no one talks like that.
You mean the newscasters?
Yeah, now because of the growth of long format podcasts where people talk to each other like people, I think people are learning authenticity because when someone who's not authentic bumps up against someone who is authentic, it starts to stink.
They start hating you. And then
two people that are not authentic, they can maybe not expose each other. But when one person's authentic and the other person isn't, the inauthentic people get exposed. In Kitty Light Fun, you're right. Or they get shouty and angry.
And call you names.
Yeah, a perfect example of that, I saw a clip of, who was it? It was Jordan Peterson, I think, and Anthony Weiner, who's involved in Human Tea. What a name for that, too.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And as soon as he just got angry. He's so angry because he got, the conversation stepped into a place. It was very clear that he could not speak on that place, that he was lying, essentially. He wasn't being authentic, and his response was furious. He got furious.
Here's a guy. Yeah, I got canceled, too. I mean, people just went after me when my movie came out. Like, it's just like, oh, my God, how dare you talk about truth? Let's attack you. And if you can't have a conversation, you're like, ah! Just yelling and yelling. And it's like, you're okay. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Do you feel better?
That Michael Ricks, I don't know if Eric Momo is being, if he's joking or if that's serious, but I mean, I hope that's a joke.
And that is the root. Veiled as, sorry to ruin your day. What is the root? But I'm authentic and get shouty with these fakers. He's just joking.
Okay, good.
You get shouty with these fakers.
If somebody sees that in their breakfast cereal, that's going to ruin their life. It is. I mean, we were talking about on the Michael Ricks podcast.
It's so good.
About how it's like, don't bring up people thinking that they're less than. Because then they'll be less than. And it's plain as day because the Project Mockingbird big media is training a certain segment of society to believe that they're less than.
Yep.
And that is more dangerous than real tribalism that's out there. And I admit there is real tribalism out there, but I also believe in the individual. I think if you get a racist, if you get someone who's an ist, let's just say, with someone who is of whatever they're against, one-on-one, there's no problem. There's no problem. They'll be able to communicate and figure out, oh, this is a good person. This is a good person. It's only when they're in big groups. Then when we get down to the individual, most people are very good. I mean, I know I've had people that intended to rob me. I mean, they were coming up to me aggressively, and then just the way that if you handle it peacefully and
well, you look like Jesus, so you probably turn in. Oh, what can I help you with? And they're like, oh, that's really funny.
You know, you're right, Kitty Light Fun. You are correct, and I actually got a link recently to a sound file that supposedly helps. It's supposedly from CIA research, and it's a sound file to get you into a meditative state.
True, Jerome.
I haven't had a chance to do it yet, but it's on my to-do list for sure.
Jerome over here, who you met on the bike, he came to bike ride with you and me.
Yeah, hey, what's up, Jerome?
So funny.
What's his name on here?
He's on YouTube. He's keeping my YouTube alive over there. Thank you, Jerome. He says R is something that is taught. No one is born with it. Truth.
Yeah, exactly. You see children together.
Oh yeah.
They're like, they don't notice, and you know, it's just. Jerome, I would love to hear your thoughts on my podcast with Michael Ricks.
Yes. I'll send you the podcast with Michael Ricks, Jerome. Yes. And I'm going to put it on my YouTube too, but I want to keep it.
We need those timestamps, and then I sent you some links that Michael wants on that too.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Yeah, because I asked him if he wanted any links on, because I told him it had almost 3,000 views. And,
so cool.
You know, yeah, and then reach out to that woman too. Maybe I should message her more, but I'd like to get her in to do the same thing.
Oh, Kinsey Coppin. Yes, she's amazing.
Get a female perspective on dissecting the lyrics of the song, and maybe.
He's talking about the Oliver Anthony song, and I cut down a few videos.
Richmond, north of Richmond.
Yeah, I cut down a few videos for you to put on your TikTok. Short little videos.
Oh yeah, like a little clip of.
Little clips of it. Because it's an hour and a half long, and I'm gonna put it on your website too.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Maybe a clip for the gram and the Talk Tick.
Yeah, I help you. I help you out. Yeah, but I was on here live.
It was an unexpectedly potent conversation.
It was so great, and when you two high five talking about the R, and the whole thing is like when Morgan Freeman said, "You want to end R? Stop talking about it."
Yeah, and that's because you don't want to teach anyone that they're less than. Because you catch somebody that's on bad food, that's in a tough spot, they're downtrodden, they might be falling into beta, or going in a direction of an animus.
Right.
And then you say that you're less than, and then they're like, oh, well, this is why I'm not doing well, because I'm less than. No, it's because you're sick. You're eating the wrong things. You're living. You're in a bad situation.
Yep.
But you are not less than.
Anna, go to his website. Sorry to interrupt you. Go to his website, theoneinnashville.com. Thank you, Presley. Yeah, and it has all the links in his social. It goes to his YouTube and stuff, and I'm in there helping him on stuff. And you got a lot of blog posts now. And also he's got a private community that you can get into for free where you can ask him questions about the Regenerate. And it's great. So because I have a private community, but it ain't free. His is free. I ain't free, y'all.
I'm trying to give away, whatever knowledge I have or whatever information I have to everyone for free. And then I really appreciate everybody that purchases the loot and the Regenerate that enables me to give away stuff for free.
Are you referencing Stop Talking About Grape? No, we're talking about the RACIST.
No. Oh, yeah, we were talking about grapes earlier, maybe, but
yeah. Well, all of it. You can't. It's all these words you can't say because we actually want to end it. But you know what? We shouldn't even talk about RACISM. I got canceled for being one too because somebody made a social post about me being a RASIT because they don't know they don't know shit. Because I'm like, well, you obviously don't know. And he's like, I'm attacking white Hollywood elites, and I'm like, I am so far from that. I'm like a Southern mountain girl who I snuck in here, y'all. I snuck in. But yeah, attack me, dumbass.
And from a black community, too.
I know. I was like so dumb. I was like, okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Have you seen my movies? And so other people were so mortified. My best friend was on the floor holding herself, turning the light on and off. She was so upset by that. But I was like, something good will happen of it, because it's like it'll eventually show people that that was a marketing ploy to try to attack my movie. And it was just like, because it actually helps people heal and wake up their minds. And it doesn't bother me. Because
yeah, sorry, I cut you off.
Okay, it doesn't. It's so ludicrous. It's comical, actually.
Yeah. Burn Seaside. It's just some people are incapable of being in the present moment. So they're literally walking through life looking like they smelled a fart, looking for something to judge. So they judged your dog's name, and then they associated it with some propaganda that they've constantly heard. It's so important to recognize that when people are in animus or in a state of stress, it's repetition from the propaganda. Their consciousness is not home. They're literally regurgitating what the TV or whatever influencer that they believe in told them on repeat, because that's the only way that it sinks in. And you're not even arguing with the true being. You're arguing with the television.
He sounds like Tom Cruise. Oh my God, you're so funny. Somebody said Sean says you sound like Tom Cruise. I used to live across the hall from Tom and Nicole, y'all. That was kind of funny.
I used to see Nicole and what's the Australian? Her new.
Keith Urban.
Keith Urban, yeah. I used to see him in a Bentley around Nashville.
Bentley, nice.
I mean, the first time I saw him, I was like, "Who's this kid getting out of this Bentley?" Because he was like literally just barely the height of the roof. And then when I saw stilts get out of the other side, I was like, that's Nicole. That's Keith. Got it.
Jay asked why you moved to Nashville.
I moved to Nashville because I was living in Chicago, quote unquote, living the dream I had. I was super successful, especially considering my peers, early 20s, working for a Fortune 50 company, in a great industry. And I was trying to buy real estate. And I was like, I can't afford, I'm going to have a 2-hour commute to my job if I want to buy something. I was like, these taxes are outrageous. And then the corporate headquarters moved down to Nashville of the Fortune 50 company. And I was a firm no, but then they got me to come down to help out for 2 weeks.
And you never left.
Well, yeah, then I was like, well, it is actually quite nice, and the taxes are quite low, and I can actually have a 10-minute commute to work. That's another 4 hours of life per day. 4 more hours of life per day, lower taxes, more money. And that's what's going on. And people are discovering that now. Like 120 people move here per day now. I mean,
it's a lot.
People are, but it makes sense because you look at what's happening. Let's rename this, because we don't, like I said, we use the term poison.
Thank you, Preston.
Instead of saying, liberal controlled or blue controlled, let's say victim controlled.
That's very true. And also, by the way, because I lived in LA and New York for so long, and that's who's giving us our media. And I have not ever met anybody that I worked with who was not on meds.
Yeah, and they're like, I get this from my doctor. And it's like, well, okay, fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders.
Oh my God. Not on meds and just
they give you is to cure you. It's to keep you paying them and keep you coming back. And I have an axe to grind with modern psychotherapy. If you have to go see somebody once, twice a week for 20 years, they're not working.
It's not working. Yeah, exactly. You're like, something's wrong.
Now, if you go to a head doctor and it's like, yeah, it's an 8-week program, we'll guide you through this phobia, we'll guide you through this. Okay, 8-week program, cool.
Right.
20-year program, you're getting scammed. You're getting scammed.
Jerome
and if
says,
you think you can just buy a friend like that,
buy a friend. That's funny.
When there's a monetary exchange, they know what to not say to not upset you, and the stuff that you need to hear is the stuff that's going to upset you. So your head doctor is no friend of yours for most people. I mean, some of the cockamamie ideas that I've heard from people that are going to head doctors are crazy, man.
Well, cutting you out of your relationship. Anyway, I can go on and on too, but I'm all into quantum healing. I'm all into like, you heal that S up, heal it up and move on.
Yeah.
The head talks give you illnesses and then put you on a bunch of meds. But my point is like with who's giving us our media and your TV shows and your movies and locking down movies like they've done with mine. They like put up little roadblocks for movies and creativity. They're all on meds and they're all actually nutballers. Like the worst people I've ever witnessed in my life, and I've traveled this world a lot. The worst behavior I've ever seen are Hollywood agents. And those are the ones that have the PC police. Those are the ones that are telling you how you should live. And they're the ones that are grooming and managing all these celebrities that are totally full of caca, poo-poo, boo-poo, dookie. And
because they're really into having a censorship complex because they know if their truths got out, they'd be in trouble.
If their truths got out, y'all, oh my God, what I have witnessed. I mean, honestly, I witnessed the worst. And because I sneak into places and I was friends with some of the agents' assistants. And I would get in and I would sit on the floor until they were done so we could go to lunch. And so I witnessed way too many times in all of them stuff that nobody knew I was there. I was literally sitting on the floor behind the desk, so you didn't even know and I just, woo, Lord have mercy.
I mean, the one dude that went to jail used to expose himself in meetings.
Oh yeah.
And then shoot off into a plant.
Yeah.
I mean, how gross.
Yeah, and that's who's giving us our media. You know what I mean? That's like, oh my, that's why I just like I removed myself and I moved out to the country because I'm like I don't want to have to play to get in your party, you know? I'm like
Matt Lauer used to have a remote lock on his door. I mean,
yep. And I have actually been I've been to those meetings where you show up and he's naked. But it's me. Imagine me if that happens to me, and it has happened. I like open the door, then there's naked dude, and it's me. I'm like, well, okay. You want to put some clothes on? Cause are we having this meeting or not? Cause I already went through my daddy. I already went through my daddy, so you can get dressed. And he's like, oh, does this bother you? But I'm a nudist. I'm like, I'm glad you're a nudist, but I'm here for a meeting. Are we still having this meeting? Are you gonna have your pecker out, or are you gonna cover it up? Because I ain't having this meeting with your pecker out.
Can you say pecker?
But I mean, that has legit happened to me. But it's like they weren't expecting me because I bring, I'll put a layer of comedy on it because most people will freak the hell out and go running. Or go into freeze. And I'm like, I've seen this before. Daddy's better.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because, they're triggering people. I mean,
Yeah. And that's who's giving you your media, y'all. And they're so jacked up on so many meds, these people. Oh my God. On the last meeting, the last time I was in LA, I was at a big, huge, like this event. And there was a bunch of us having dinner. And this guy, an old friend of mine, was looking at me and he's like, this little bit right here, I could take you to my doctor in the morning and they could just staple this right behind your ear and it would help you a lot. We ain't friends no more. What? You want me to take my skin from here and staple it behind my ear so that I don't show my aging? Okay. And you know what's amazing? I started drinking raw milk and eating grass-fed meat and doing the meditation work and doing all this work. And I actually look younger now than I did before because it's in
you're
mind.
a lot more youthful from when I met you.
Yeah. Thank you. It's like, it's mind and it's what you're putting in your mind and putting in your mouth.
Well, and it's also literally your lymphatics. So the more toxins you put in your body, the puffier you're going to get everywhere. And so as you move more, get healthier, the lymphatic system isn't overburdened, and everything is.
But then we can just do this right here.
Or you could just go get some staples.
Or you can just staple your face.
I mean, like.
I was like, what? Could you imagine? Like, that's my family's Southern, right? Like, if I
Dr. Perry and the Big Six, Seaside, you know what you're talking about.
What's Dr. Perry and the Big Six?
So it's to move lymphatics. I actually want to do some videos on it and put it on some of my sites because it's so important. One quick one is you clap 9 times, but you don't clap flat-handed. You clap like kind of cupped, right? So you do 9 claps. Then you take I'm pointing at like where my elbow bends on the inside, and then where it and like make a clapping sound. So like
I'm gonna make you bigger.
See where I'm at?
No.
See where I'm at right there?
I'm gonna try to make you bigger.
Where the bend is. So then 9 there, and then you do 9 on the other side. Then you actually put your hand behind you have to do this naked or shirt off. But you put your hand behind your head, and then you make another clapping noise with your armpit. So you're making a clapping 9 claps, hands, 9 claps using the inside of your elbow, where your elbow bends on the inside.
Okay. Like this?
Yeah. So make it clap like how you.
Oh, I see.
And then don't tense the arm, let it low, and then your whole bottom arm should like jump up when you're doing it right, because you should be relaxed. You're sitting, so you really have to do it standing. So then you make the armpit clap too.
Okay.
Your arm goes on the back of your head.
Oh,
What this does is it moves lymph.
Really?
Well,
is this
particular one that I just showed everybody is also associated with the heart chakra. Yes, it theoretically would help your torn rotator cuff because it would help get the fluid out of that area if you have an acute injury.
Is this stop chasing pain, dude?
Yes.
Okay. So it's stop chasing pain.
I learned this stuff from Mantak Chia, which is like a traditional Chinese medicine guy, and Perry Nicholson. Yeah, but you want to do it standing, so that literally like the bottom of your arm from clapping is like bouncing.
Okay.
And a little bit more aggressive and more like a.
Oh, there it goes. Woo! Instead of beating yourself up, y'all, work on your lymph nodes.
Yeah, and so you do both sides, then arm behind the head, do each armpit. It really only works with no shirt.
No shirt.
Where we're like a clapping noise.
It's a different site.
Exactly. Anyway, so that moves lymph. And the thing that you can even notice sometimes if you do it too much, you can actually notice like a little detox effect from it. It's possible.
Wow. That's cool.
And then of course you can do the neck, which is pretty simple. And then the other one is if you right underneath the collarbone, and then you do and the beating on the chest clears the main drain of lymph, and the main drain of lymph is right here.
Well, I've got these because I don't feel too good today. These right here, puffy.
Yeah, you know what? Mine are a little bit puffy too today. But that main drain with the beating on the chest with the va-a-e. Yeah, you can go down to the sternum as well, but you can also get up near the drain, near the collarbone. That will clear the main drain, which is on the left. 80% of your lymph fluid flows through your left collarbone. So you can work above the left collarbone and below the left collarbone to get more fluid flow through there. The right side evacuates the right arm and the liver. The left side evacuates the rest of the body. And then the main drain dumps into your stomach. So if you really get a lot of lymph moving, you can get nauseous or a little headachy because it's dumping the toxins into the stomach.
Then could we do regenerate? Could we all take to regenerate together and then just slap ourselves?
It would actually be helpful because when you're on regenerate, you have that blood flow boost.
Right.
It would actually be helpful to move lymph around in that state.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. That's your plan. That's awesome. And no, it's not tapping. It's a Stop Chasing Pain. Dr. Perry. What's his name?
Dr. Perry Nicholson is a great teacher. So is Mantak Chia. Mantak Chia is another guy that I've learned some of this stuff from. Another great place is the back of the knees.
Oh.
But yeah, you got to do that when you're not standing. Back of the knees. I would imagine probably the bottom of the feet. You could probably. I haven't seen that one, but you could probably make that clap on the bottom of the feet. And
you can also put lute on the bottom of your feet.
The groin area. Yeah.
You can also put lute in the groin area.
Yeah, perhaps. Rebounding is great, actually. I need to get a trampoline in my backyard but my backyard is under construction.
I got one.
Yeah, trampolines are great to move lymph.
It's also great to pee on yourself.
Maybe.
We're working on it. The order you do that makes a difference. I forgot an area in 5 days and noticed a huge difference. Interesting.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the
cool.
order, exactly. That's why it's first the clap, then each elbow, and then each armpit. And then
without a shirt,
you want to clear with the chest pound before doing that, because everything that you do there is going to go towards this main drain on the left. So you want to unclog that first.
Oh, so do this before you.
And you can get more aggressive. And then the reason why you sing or hum or do ah-ah-ee is because the vibration internally helps move the lymph. So while if you're in the shower, you can.
It's like this bump here. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
My chest is finally straight. Want to hear a crazy story? I got punched out when I was 14 because I was my basketball captain. I was captain of the basketball team, and this girl got mad. And anyway, long story short, I called her a bitch, and she punched me. She didn't punch me in the face. She punched me in the chest. And it dislocated my rib cage. It went like, toot, and I had this hole in my rib cage for 10 years. And I went to chiropractors and all kinds of things. They said the only way to straighten it would be if I slept on a book, like a hard book. And I was like, well, that's not going to happen. And then when I was 24 years old, I was at an Irish bar and Led Zeppelin came on. And I did this like little move. Woo! And it sounded like a GUN shot. It was so loud and it just like popped back in place. Now I have a straight chest.
You can watch some chiropractors, are able to pop stuff back like that too.
Can you do a quick recap of what you said? Lymph node draining.
Lymph nodes. First up, you beat on your chest.
Beat on your chest.
Yeah. 9 times. Then 9 times on the soft inner part of each arm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hand on the back of the head. And then you make this clap, no shirt though. But
no shirt.
You can demo it like this. And then you do the other one.
No shirt. 9? Always 9? Yeah. Take your shirt off, Shelton.
Mantak Chia says 9. Perry Nicholson, I believe. Oh, Mantak Chia says 9 rounds of 9.
Oh, wow. Helps with clearing your lymph node drainage. Yeah. How many licks does lift? Do you remember this? Do you remember the little owl? How many licks? To get to the center of?
Tootsie Pop.
Yeah, Tootsie Roll.
We're so programmed.
I know.
It's like, and I've got some neuropathy in my left arm and hand, and doing that like kind of can give me pins and needles in my left arm and hand for a bit. It feels like it's kind of coming back alive.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then of course, you know, when we were talking, there was one of our mutual online friends, or I don't know, friends, I guess. It doesn't matter that it's online. You know, that's why I was telling her to do some lymph stuff. We were talking yesterday.
Oh, Rachel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rachel,
Yeah,
who
because-
believes MSNBC is a good source of information.
Bless her heart.
Bless your heart and liver. Oh, it's so funny. I'm still trying to poke around and see how I can change. I need to learn this TikToker thing. I've got lots of subscribers too now, and I'll figure it out one day. Poke around. I know you too. You're like Patrick was trying to figure out how to bring me on live, and it's like, how do you do it? Where do you touch?
It was funny. I commented. I just logged on while I was making a drink, a vinegar, a lymph draining drink actually.
Perfect.
And I sent you some comments, and then I asked to be on, and I was like, yeah, she doesn't even notice I'm here. So yes, for some reason, like you'd expect the ask to join to pop up.
Yeah, it would. Well, because
it
happens all the time when people try to call me, and it pops up, and it's like, and it doesn't pop up when you request it. I mean, I need to read a help file. I'll figure it out.
You would think it would pop up and be evident, like an Instagram. It pops up.
I know.
And it's very evident. It's like, but I guess not.
Raw milk definitely needs refrigeration, but I'm sitting here with my jug right here.
Well, yeah, the interesting thing about raw milk is that if you don't refrigerate it, it turns to ricotta cheese.
Not in an hour.
Well, right, not in an hour, but you want to keep it refrigerated because really, I think it's most potent when it's fresh out of the udder and you're getting all of that gut microbiome.
I'm going to get more. I'm going to put your Michael Ricks podcast on your website, and then I'm gonna for you. I'll do that for you, and then I'm gonna go get some more milk with my mama.
And you already went through those 3 gallons. I guess you got a youngster and a mama.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what's funny is I don't feel like I get milk breath from the raw dairy.
Nope, I don't either. You need to go raw, Jay.
Yeah, and it's so funny because if I drink milk or ice cream, like I'm like congested and sluggish and feel like garbage, but raw milk does not do that.
It doesn't do anything. Like, actually, I wouldn't have any dairy from the supermarket ever again.
Yeah.
Is my mom craving more regenerate? My mom took it twice already today.
So what is her feedback on regenerate? Give me that. Cause
she's like, well, I need some more. And I was like, Mom, I gave you a little jar. And she's like, how much do I take? I was like, I gave you a teaspoon, so go less than that. Go like an 1/8 or a 1/4 of a teaspoon if you don't want that burn.
Yeah.
And she goes, okay.
Now she originally said she wasn't going to do it again because of the heat, right?
Yeah.
Now she's asking for it because after the heat comes what's pleasant about it. But I want to hear. Go ahead.
Yep.
Tell me.
And so she's like, okay. And so she texted me. She's like, I did a 1/4 a teaspoon. I don't feel anything. Like, she's pissed, right? And I was like, okay. She's like, do more. And she's like, oh, okay. So she's done more now. And I've been on the live, so I'm sure my phone has been blowing up with my mom.
This is why it's a powder. This is why I want everyone to join the One in National and tell me the amount that they're taking, because then eventually I can figure out what the consensus is to put it into a pill and mass produce it. And once it's in a pill and mass produced, it'll be cheaper, and then we can help more people.
Right. Truth. So cool.
We got to figure out what everybody likes, first. So.
Yeah. Oh, she brought loot too. Oh my God, I want me some loot. I want some more loot.
Yeah, my supplier shipped me the wrong thing, so I got.
Don't you love it when that happens?
I have a plan. I've got a call to make today, but it's coming.
It's awesome. I love being at the beginning of this. I love watching it. It's really great. It's like, I knew you win.
So the mom is now taking it on her own.
Yep.
That's wonderful. And then you're going to see her anxiety go down. And then you're going to be able to reconnect with your mom in a state of being instead of a state of perpetual stress. So I'm imagining your relationship will change, and if she can stick with it. And of course, that can give her the space to improve her diet, to improve her exercise, and then, not have to take any or very minimal amounts of regenerative.
Kitty, seeing me calm down has been appealing. But I was like, hey, listen, was it that obvious that I...
Well, no, you do seem a little bit more peaceful.
I'm more peaceful.
I was noticing that before we joined live when you were talking on your thing.
Was it that obvious?
It works.
It does. I told my hubby. Yes, it's so funny. My Aunt Susie said it too. She's like, you seem awfully calm. What are you doing? Are you high? That's funny.
You're not high. You're fully cognate. Your cognition is higher, not lower.
Yeah, it's true. And that's all. Yeah. You missed the dancing lives. When did I do dancing lives? I'm gonna have to do my dancing.
Angela's calm yet lively energy rocks. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not. I'm only gonna get more fun. I've done dancing lives. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I'll get back.
You need me to send you another regenerate?
Yes.
Does that mean yes? Is that like a cat?
Yes. Okay. It takes 3. That's funny. Yeah, and then I'll do more dancing videos. Yeah, I have to put...
R. Naylor. I'm assuming you're talking about regenerate. Yes, regenerate. Thank you for clarifying. The one in Nashville.com is where you can get it, read about it. All the ingredients are on there. Are the ingredients up yet?
Yep, I put them.
Okay. Yeah. It really works.
It really does work. It's like
synergistic blend of supplements that first provide exhilarating flushing experience.
Followed
by a state of peaceful calm that allows you to conquer your day with ease instead of anxiety. Better to live in ease than anxiety.
It's so true. And, and people could get all the supplements themselves and try to do it themselves. But the way you've concocted it, it's worth it. It's totally worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I have all the ingredients on there. It's the amount that I've worked on for 3 years. So that I hold to myself, but all the ingredients are on there. If somebody wants to try to recreate.
Yeah, it's like, good luck. Why is he killing you, Don?
I want more people calm in the world. So it's great if y'all figure it out, and it's wonderful.
Yay. Well, I think he mailed yours, Don. So I think you were one of the early ones. So
what's your last name, Don?
Mm-hmm.
I have like another. I think I'm going to be, as long as we can find boxes.
I know.
Again, I sent Patrick to like multiple places to try to get boxes, and it's like 7 boxes from here, 4 boxes.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know.
So we've got 100 boxes coming that are supposed to arrive today.
That's awesome.
I would have had a lot more out. It was just waiting on boxes. It's just so dumb how little roadblocks.
One little thing. Yep. Stamps.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go get my mom, and I'll let you know how she's doing, and then I'll. And you know what? I've already noticed my mom is very like her favorite thing in the world are plants, and flowers and stuff, and she'll walk you through a field and tell you like you could eat that for a headache, or you could put that on a sore. Like she's that person. But she tends to go and get interested in things that I'm doing, almost like she's like living through me kind of thing. It's a little irritating. And now I've noticed already she's back to talking about plants. Because plants ain't my thing. I finally have houseplants that are alive. I mean, I feel like I've succeeded in life.
successfully kept my mother's cactus alive since she passed.
Oh,
So I'm proud of that.
yay.
But I often forget to water them. But I'm doing good.
Thank God it's a cactus.
I know, it's nice that it's a cactus too. That makes it easy.
That's awesome. And I'm going to read up on how I bring you half screen. We could maybe do that soon because it's great.
I don't know if that's on my end. I don't know what's going on. There's like there's a number that keeps climbing on my tiny thumbnail. It's up to 6 now, so I don't know.
Maybe people who are following you now because of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would love
if anybody's on here that ordered Regenerate, because we both have to go, I just want to say I appreciate y'all. More shipping out today. And I'm shipping them all priority mail, so that means it'll be rapid. So
nice. Jay's my moderator, smart nerd boy. I mean, man. Sorry, not to call you boy.
I know that yours went out. I'm pretty sure yours went out. Purnell. There was I know I printed out a label for Purnell. So
nice. Good boys. My good boys. Yeah, it's true. Good boys into awesome men.
All right. Well, I got to run because I'm a quart. Now it's up to 8. I don't know what this number means, but
I don't
I'm
either.
a quart low on milk, so I got to.
Same. I'm going to go get my milk on. Look. I'm not a quart. I'm just like, I need my milk. Y'all. Thank you all. This has been awesome. It's like we never know how long we'll go. When it's fun, I stay. I'm gaining in popularity. That's what it is. I'm gaining in popularity. Thank you, Stay.
Thank you, Sean and Shannon.
Yay. All right. Thank you. Right. I appreciate you.
Give me a shout on the phone later on, Angela, or whenever you have time.
All right, I got some stuff playing. I'm playing around with you in the back end. I'm playing with your back end,
so to speak.
It's a good one. Thank you, Leslie. All right, y'all have a good day and a good weekend. I'll be back Monday morning, but I'll try to go live during the weekend. All right, bye. Bye, y'all. Bye. Bye, Jerome.